Hypocrisy.
Hi. What's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Recato of Recato Law, small law firm in central Minnesota. And I hate literally everything about all streaming software. All of it can get fucked. All of it can go straight into the goddamn garbage can. I fucking hate it. It's all bad. All of it, without exception. There's not a single fucking good streaming program or platform. All of them suck. All of them. OBS sucks. StreamYard sucks. Streamlabs sucks. Melon, whatever that shit is, sucks. Restream sucks. Fucking all of them. So yet again, if you remember the other night, 2 nights ago, damn, I go to start the show and it doesn't recognize the OBS camera. And I run an OBS virtual camera because the camera lens is too wide. And so this lets me blow it up and run it into StreamYard. So then when that happens, it's not just the camera though. Something else goes wrong. So OBS decides to stop actually functioning with a virtual camera. It just stops, won't run it. And then StreamYard won't accept any video source until you reboot the computer. And then when you reboot the computer and open up StreamYard again, it won't accept any video or audio source for a while. No reason to it, no logic to it. Literally none of the sources. No microphone sources work. None of the video sources work. You have 18 different fucking cameras plugged in. Won't accept any of them. Won't accept the raw camera feed. Won't accept anything. I hate it. It's dumb. It's just retarded. Nothing fucking works. And it should all work just fine. But no, we're just going to not work at random times. Anyway, I hate everything. So how's it going, guys? I hope you're doing well. As you can hear, my voice is a little bit rough. I've been drinking sweet tea to help. Doesn't help. And I've been avoiding yelling or talking all day. God, I'm so pissed. I'm so mad about this damn software. Because I know all you retards out there are like, oh, epic fail. Boomer can't figure out how to do this. Yes, I know. You would all have this solved all the time, would never have any problems. I got it. I get it. Try it. All right. So we got a couple topics today. But first, and I'm going to mention this probably 3 times today, at least. This is shilling. Next level shilling. Tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Central Time, there is a hearing for the fight over the Kyle Rittenhouse bond money. And yes, there's a camera in the courtroom. So tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m., I'll actually start the stream prior to that. There is a hearing over the Kyle Rittenhouse bail money, the $2 million. The company, the trust fund that purchased John Pierce's failed law firm, has been awarded $3.75 million from his failing firm. His failing firm technically has an ownership claim in that $2 million. So this hedge fund, trust fund, whatever, probably a company that buys up failing businesses and then tries to leverage and collect their assets or whatever. It is trying to take that money. That's tomorrow. So we'll be watching that live. I have a hard cutoff though at like 2:25 p.m. because I have to do a bunch of driving tomorrow and I have to do it. There's no one else who can do it. So, bond hearing, I mean, the hearing should be over in about an hour. Typically those types of hearings are an hour, but I will be doing it, or we will be watching. If I have to go, we have to go. That's fine. But I'll be watching this whole thing. So we'll see how it goes. I will invite the law panel to join me if they're up for it. Should be good. I'm going to mention this later in the show. So don't worry. I don't have Joe Biden's Alzheimer's. I just will mention it as new people come in. You know, people filter in and matriculate or whatever throughout the course of the show. So I will mention it. Oh, you love when you can feel your voice sounding stupid. So much fun. Okay. But today we are going to be talking about Stephen Breyer retiring from the court. Jen Psaki was talking about it earlier today. I had the video at the timestamp before I had to reboot the fucking computer, but it wasn't just a video, it was a live stream, and I had rewound it to the Jen Psaki press conference. I will try and find that same segment. I don't know if I can. Because it might be gone now, but the video was there. Fucking hate StreamYard. I hope they go out of business. I also hate OBS. They can't go out of business because it's open source, but they should go out of business anyway. Well, no, they're a real company. I mean, they're suing Streamlabs for unlawfully using the OBS name. So that's funny. I hope both of them go out of business. Fuck all these people. There's also a Chris Cuomo deposition video in relation to the Andrew Cuomo sexual assault allegations, well, crimes or whatever they are. I don't know. It has been released. It is 6 hours long. So I'm thinking about streaming through that. Not tonight. It won't be in one shot tonight. It would either be in multiple shots over a couple nights, or maybe one shot during a day for a long stream. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that yet. I'm thinking about it, but it is there. So that's there. And then we've got to talk about the trouble in Portugal. My A-logs have been BTFO'd. I hope you know of the trouble in Portugal, which is a sad story. It's a very, very sad story of a gunt waddling around in a foreign country to prove the haters wrong for no fucking reason other than to quote unquote prove the haters wrong. No idea what proof has occurred. He gets mugged and beaten terribly, which I feel bad for him. I don't think people should have their asses kicked so royally. But I think there's some untrue elements to the story. So we're going to take a peek. We'll take a peek at the story. We can speculate on the untrue elements of the story. And we'll just see. We'll just see. I think there's one in particular statement that I do not believe for a moment. I don't believe anything of the sort. So that's what the main agenda is. There's probably some other stuff to talk about today. I'm sure as we get some super chats read, and I will read the super chats from yesterday. I do apologize. You can hear this is why I didn't stream. Not sick. Voice just wrecked. No idea. Had to yell at my kids. It's probably what caused it. Anyway, I did buy a new whiskey. I've never seen this before. This is Widow Jane, the Vaults, a 15-year bourbon, a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. So this is a very not gay blend. This is where they took a bunch of bourbons and jerked all of them off into one bottle and then mixed it up. That's what they did. I'm pretty sure. This is batch number 2, 2020 release, bottle number 456, as best I can tell. This is almost 50% alcohol, 49.5% alcohol. The Widow Jane, the Vaults, a collection of our oldest and rarest. So gonna try this out. I should have called this a whiskey review. That's what I should have called this. This should have been a whiskey review. I haven't done one in a while. We'll call this a whiskey review, and we'll whiskey review this fucking bourbon that I've never heard of before. Better be good. Better be good. Wasn't a cheap bourbon. Wasn't super expensive, but it certainly wasn't cheap. Fucking bourbon. For bourbon, it was kind of pricey, right? I feel like bourbon is all $40 or $1,000. Do you guys run into that? This is rare. This bottle was $200, which is you said it's like this weird middle range. I don't run into these very often. I don't buy $1,000 bottles of liquor, by the way. I just see them on occasion. Okay. But with bourbons in particular, it's like almost all of them that I see are between 30 and $70. There's not like $120 bourbons that I run into or anything like that. So to see a 200 was weird. Anyway. Oh my God. I have an electrician coming to my house tomorrow. I have a plumber coming to my house tomorrow. Both early. Smells good. Let's see. Really alcohol-y. Okay, PBS NewsHour. She talks at length about Supreme Court at 1 minute and 30 seconds into their stream. Okay. Sounds good. Ethan Ralph has not died. He's just stupid. Okay, here we go. Once you get past the alcohol, it's got like I don't know if it's like vanilla or butterscotchy sort of smell. Pretty good. Not super tingly. Taste is very inoffensive. Ooh, it's got a candy. Yeah, like a vanilla or caramel, Maybe it's like a caramel taste. It comes up from the back of the throat. It's probably the same thing that happens when like a porn chick blows a bunch of Latinos. Is that racist? I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know what level of joke we can make because like I'm lost. I'm lost on comedy now. I'm lost on comedy. I don't know how offensive. I don't know how where we can go anymore because I got all these competing things, right? I put up a video. It's on my locals page now. I put it up on YouTube and they would not. They're like, "No. No, this is hate speech." I'm like, "Hate speech? I'm calling Lizzo and Tess Holiday fat cuz they are. And I'm calling Jack Murphy a cuck because he is. What's hateful about it?" There's a video on shame. And so I make this shame video and they're like, "That's hate speech." I'm like, "Fucking hate speech? You haven't even seen hate speech yet." Like, believe me, I can give you some hate speech. I have a list. All right. But so I put it up on my locals or whatever. But now I'm like, man, I don't know. There's that. And then I've got all these new people. These poor, yeah, I love you, you beautiful, innocent people who joined. If you're here at night, I don't think most of you are, but if you came from one of the trials, like the Rittenhouse trial, the Kim Potter trial, this Edgecombe trial, if you came from one of those, and then you're like, oh, these are fun little legal streams that we do during the daytime. I'll go check out the night stream and see what happens. And then then you're like, this tastes like blowing Latinos. Like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? That's, well, welcome here. So, but one thing I've always promised is I won't change. So at night, you're going to get some spicy jokes. That's what you're going to get. That's the way life is. I'm sorry. I'm going to call people fat and stupid and retards, and I'm going to use offensive language and whatever else is within YouTube's terms of service. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. I apologize in advance. Get the fuck over it. If you want to bitch at me in the comments, by all means do so. It's good. Okay, let's start hitting these super chats from yesterday. There were a couple. I am genuinely, I hate canceling streams. I hate it. I had to cancel last night's stream because it sounded like trash, felt like trash, needed to get some sleep and all that stuff. I hate doing it, and I didn't want to, but I do have the super chats that were there from yesterday. I also wanted to do a stream at 1 today, but I ended up having to drive, an hour from my house, and we had to do some shopping at stores that weren't around us. So it was great. We braved the crime capital of Minnesota, Waite Park in St. Cloud. They're not really the crime capital. I hear it's the sex trafficking capital of Minnesota, though. Not sure why. Might be the Somalis. Could be. Okay, Matt K says, explain the Halderson parents puzzle to Lady Raggets on stream. No, I already did. It was great. It was good. Also, passing time between streams by posting Ricada Law links on law and crime Twitter threads. Oh, God damn it. Update. Sword and Scale, yes. Portugal, very dangerous. Very dangerous. You may have a true crime podcast. There's a stolen man purse, a broken orbital socket, and some stolen dignity, whatever shreds were left. All right. We do have a law and crime update. Very important update on the law and crime debacle, fiasco, feud, fight. It's not really much of a fight. It's kind of one-sided. Law and crime has not responded at all to my attorney. We sent the letter. I showed you guys the letter. We sent the media orders that existed at the time of the letter. We have subsequently supplemented that with additional media orders and news articles talking about how literally everybody but Law and Crime seems to be filming these streams, filming these court cases. So their whole claim to authorship and ownership is completely fucking bogus. And looks like they may have just been bluffing. And we'll see. Give them a little bit more time. But I'm going to go full on drop the fucking hammer on Law and Crime when we get down to it, because these motherfuckers lied. They lied to me. They lied to the world, and fuck them. Pieces of shit. I am so fucking tired of this. So there's that. But by the way, as I have stated since day one on my channel, do not, on my behalf, please do not go post on Law and Crime. Don't talk to them. Don't bomb their Twitter. Don't do anything on my behalf. I don't want it. I don't ask anybody to do that. I will happily fight my own fights and fuck them all day long until they like it, right? But I do not condone or endorse any of that shit. YouTube has well, not YouTube directly, but I've been informed that that if I were to direct brigading against them, that would be some sort of violation of YouTube terms and services. Thank God I've never ever directed brigading against anybody. Quite the opposite. Always I tell people don't bother them. Don't talk to them. There's nothing to do there. Now the internet does things that I don't say. Shockingly, I'm not the god of the internet. I should be deemed king of the internet. High king, ruler, lord, master of the internet. Everything I say goes. We'd have a better internet. Way more porn and way less of most other things. It'd be phenomenal. It'd be a great, great internet. But I'm not. And so people do things. It's not me, though. I don't do things. I just make fun of people from over here. So YouTube, by the way, I'm not doing any bullying or harassing. I'm mocking fucking idiots. And I'm a better fucking channel than them, YouTube, and you know it. I make you more money than they do. Plus, have you seen them? Embarrassing. So let's not get too hasty on the whole Nick's directing hate. I don't direct hate. Hate directs itself, but I don't. All right. But yes, nothing back from Law and Crime yet. I'm very, very surprised that they haven't responded. Andrew War Snowboard says, went to the Mall of America today and only saw one person get arrested. I also stuffed my face with sushi and then streamed for almost 3 hours. Fantastic, buddy. That was yesterday, though. Good job. He says, does Biden think that Breyer quitting means no more ice cream? Yes. I had some sushi today. It was good. B. Ivory Law. Gosh, you got like a little. You ever get that thing where you see like one little fuzz hair or whatever, like a fur? It's probably a fucking cat fur floating around. God, oh, damn it. B. Ivory Law says my trial conduct was iconic, indubitable, and ingenious. Mario Garter 13 says Breyer is too right wing. We need Ben and Jerry's. Oh my God, it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad. I'm just glad that Joe Biden has promised to promote Candace Owens to the Supreme Court. That'll be good. Torgo the White says, hail rackets. Prosecution closing was fired today. Also, ATF coming for forced reset triggers per GOA might make good grist for your day stream tomorrow. Did you guys see? Somebody sent me this YouTube channel where the feds busted in and just like took all this guy's shit. Have you guys seen that? I don't know, man. Very crazy. Sergeant McSalty says postponed and gay. Someone bloody random says offline chat equals best chat. Also gate and lay. Mr. Mediker says, Nick, do you happen to know what the penalty for purse theft in Portugal is? Asking for a friend. I think the penalty is you get to list it on eBay for 300 euros. That's probably the penalty. You want the link to the Fed video? Hold on. Again, all my fucking tabs got closed. I hope you guys saw the Judge Borkowski beatdown that got posted today. My editor put that together. It's good stuff. We're working on a Mr. Peach testimony because Mr. Peach was so freaking stupid. Mr. Peach testimony, and then another Judge Borkowski beatdown is coming up very, very soon as well. Here, I'll show you the video. I'll show you the video. It's from CRS Firearms. CRS Firearms. We'll do that in just a minute. And I'll share the link too. But yeah, we've got a couple more of those Theodore Edgecombe videos coming out. I'm glad you guys like those highlight reel videos. I do need to do a wrap up summary thoughts on Theodore Edgecombe. Jeez, hold on. These kids being insane again. Hold on. I'll be right back, guys. Oh my gosh. So anyway, what I was saying about these kids, Jesus. Okay. Sorry about the delay. They have been a handful the past couple days. They have been a handful. Yes. There's also, a B Ivory, or not a B Ivory, a Theodore Edgecombe evasive answers is coming as well. All right. Where were we? Mario Carter says a man goes to prison for slaying the attorney that could have gotten him off. He pleads self-defense, but there's no self-defense from the Twilight Zone. Hey, y'all says, please rant for me how judges are responsible for the verdicts in their courtroom. I'm still pissed about the Potter verdict and how Judge Chu looked so surprised when she let Frank's BS slide. Allowed that to happen. It's her fucking fault. Tux loves you. Super Gun 64. Bogey 34 says hashtag truck foodo. Mike says feeding the kid and waiting, ran out of super chat budget. Have you tried Berkelatic Port Charlotte? No, I've had Berkelatic, but not that one. Also, Edgecombe coverage was amazing. Thanks. You're welcome. Where the hell? How many super chats were from yesterday? Oh no. They still list from They still list the chats from yesterday, even though they're not from yesterday. Nicholas Cruiser says, be patient, folks. Nick has Windows Millennium Edition. Jay Wolfenstein says, hypothetically, if I were on the Edgecombe jury and I went up to Lamar after the trial and said, your performance was so shit that you convinced me of your client's guilt, what would that be grounds for appeal? What if I said it in a media interview? No, it actually would not. Juror statements are not allowed in an appeal except under extremely limited circumstances. And I mean very, very specifically limited circumstances. We talked about this during the Potter decision because a juror came out and said some really stupid stuff about the Potter decision. But I think it has to do with some sort of coercion or bribery or something like that. They're very, very limited. So no, you cannot do that. It would not be grounds for an appeal. Matthew Self says, well, we know the attitude of this stream. Love it. Mandy Karavichus says, I told you I would beat up your critics and bullies, Nick. Do you believe me now? Who's next on our list? Eugene says, Minnesota's finally getting to you. You're becoming Earl Grey Jr. Yeah, I am. Right now, I'm in court arguing. Earl Grey is actually in federal court these days, fighting for Thomas Lane, the attorney or one of the police officers accused of killing George Floyd, depriving him of his civil rights by negligently failing to provide medical care, which is silly because he's the only one that did. Donnie Z says, Canadian here, truckers departed from my region this morning. I was there. Our commie news outlets are comparing the convoy to January 6th. Oh yeah. State-run media will it'll always be the worst tragedy ever. Worst tragedy ever. Have fun. Have fun. Somebody's got to fight, I guess. And the truckers fighting up in Canada, brave men and women of the Canadian truckers. Fox McLeod says the gun put Samuel L. Hyde in a self-defense situation. Crockett's theme says late and looking like the guy from my paper towels. Gates of Above says question about that lovely puzzle you acquired a few days ago. Were there any nibble marks on any of the pieces? I want to know for authenticity. I have not opened it yet. Thank you, Shadowban Warrior. I see your, let's see, PBS NewsHour. Let's see. PBS NewsHour press briefing. Today, 10 hours ago. We're just going to start right at the beginning when we get there in just a second. Thank you, Shadowban Warrior, for that one. Thank you. Tara Rayner says, shout out to my fellow Canadians, notably the truckers who are going to free the world. We've had enough, and enough is going to be at the government's doorsteps with an eviction notice. Prayers and love to all. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to see people fight back and like truly fight back against this bullshit, this fucking tyranny. It's a soft tyranny, right? Oh, well, you don't, you get to keep your rights so long as you just do what we ask. As long as you do what we ask, you get to keep your rights just fine. Just do what we say. That's fine. Oh no, we would never take away your right to go to a restaurant. I mean, well, unless you don't get the vaccine, but if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can just stay home. Fuck off, commies. Gotcha, son says, I'll have a shot with you, bud. I'm having a nice pour of Michter's 16 year. Cheers, Nikki. Cheers, brother. Sam Harris says, I've just had to put my dog of 14 years down due to health issues. Thanks for keeping me distracted. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Really sorry to hear that. That shit sucks. Squizgar 2322 says, most of the whiskey I drink costs about as much as this super chat. Lane Hamilton says, hey, Nick, if someone wanted to send you a bottle of whiskey, is there a way to do so? Here in Oregon, there's a very popular brand of whiskey called Pendleton. It's a blended Canadian whiskey that I think you might enjoy. I am happy to receive whiskey at my P.O. box. I don't know how people send it to my P.O. box because technically I don't think you're supposed to. However, I believe they just don't tell the post office. I've gotten gallons of whiskey in my P.O. box. So I don't know how they manage it, but I would assume it just involves not telling them what's in there. Rick Nikita says, oh boy, I'm 31 now. Congrats, buddy. Happy birthday. Welcome to being 31. Vienna waits for you says, I drink Chivas Regal 12-year blended Scotch whiskey and no other whiskey or bourbon. Frankly, vodka, Prairie Gin, and Tres Agaves tequila are my other drinks of choice that aren't whiskey or bourbon. Cheers, Nick. Hey, thank you, Vienna. Very nice. I've never had Chivas Chivas Regal. I always say Regal. I'm sure it's probably Chivas Regal or something weird. Idaho Plumber says, don't worry, Nick. We will brigade anything. Lol, no coercion needed. Fucking damn it. It's not me. It's not me. I'll make fun of them. Scott Bain says, thanks for the Edgecombe coverage. Informative and entertaining as always. The prosecutor really impressed me. Even tempered, prudent, and very effective. Would make a fine judge. Maybe. I like him. I like him keeping him as a prosecutor. He, well, in this case, he did his job correctly. He did it ethically. He did it cautiously and was very aware of potential pitfalls in the case as far as having appeals and abusing rights. And he seemed to avoid those very, very well. So I liked it. I thought he did a fine job. A testament to the prosecution. Maybe he's shit in other cases, though. I have no idea. Molan Labe 1371 says, GunTuber CRS Firearms was arrested today for conspiracy, accepting sponsorship money, and obstruction getting married. It's in regards to ATF calling a piece of metal with an etching a machine gun. It would be interesting to review the charging documents. We're going to watch the video on that in just a little bit. That's up on their channel. Not done by them, of course, because they're in prison or they're locked up. Matt Moran says, hey, Nick, sent you a DM. Was curious if you had any thoughts on the Robinhood trading case just dismissed, if there is anything there, or if you ever looked into it. I did not look into it. So I would have no particular insights, but I could maybe look into it. Lane Hamilton says, oh, if you do a Second Amendment subject stream, please invite Matt LaRosse from the Fudbusters YouTube channel. Abe Eckstein says, new officer involved shooting. I DM'd you on Twitter. Video doesn't look good for the cops. Is that the I-65 shooting? 9 cops, 1 guy with a box cutter. But I can't seem to find where the shooting takes place. All the videos, it freeze frames on the guy with the box cutter going like this, but he's a long ass way away from the cops. So I can't tell. Like, I want to see if there's anything else. I want to see what happens. I haven't seen an uncut video of it. Someone else sent me a video today, though, of a guy getting fucking headshot. Just domed down in Houston outside the Whataburger. 21-foot rule within 30 feet. I don't know if he's within 21 or 30 feet. Maybe. He's not moving, though. He's not moving. But the headshot down in Houston was crazy, man. So that was wild. I don't know how much of that stuff I can show. All of my streams are getting flagged. See, this is the bullshit. This is the fucking bullshit. Ever since this law and crime fiasco started, I've had several streams age restricted. Streams that have been up for a year, 2 years, suddenly getting age restricted. Gee, I wonder fucking why. Fuck you, law and crime, you pieces of shit. You commie pussy pieces of garbage. Fuck you. Sitting there reporting all my fucking streams. I mean, I don't know it's them. Of course not. Of course it's probably someone else. Just pure coincidence that it all starts happening with law and crime. Just weird how that happens. But that's not harassment, though. That's not harassment. Apparently, other people than me, because I don't do any of this, other people going to law and crime and making fun of them and calling them pussies or whatever. Apparently, that's me harassing them. But them coming and flagging literally every stream I've ever done, that's not harassment. No, that's okay. Dent Machine Co., where'd you send it to me? Idaho Plumber says Pendleton is super popular here. Also, lol, it's my go-to drink. I feel like I've had Pendleton before. I've just seen it, I think. I don't think I've ever had it. KLGY88 says, you got me back into drinking, lol. Oh, shit, sorry. Basil Hayden's has been the poison lately. I like Basil Hayden's, man. Thanks for getting me through some tough days as of late. Will you take a drink with me? Cheers. Sure. I'm game. Twitter? Okay. Thank you. I'll get it in just a second. Tell you what, guys, I'm looking forward to being on the You Are Here podcast in a couple weeks. February 10th will be my appearance on You Are Here with Elijah Schaefer and Sydney Watson. Very, very excited to hop on their show. Make sure you watch. Make sure you come watch. Let's blow up their numbers. Let's make it a big stream. They already do big streams. Let's make it a bigger stream. That'll be good. Oh, KLGY88. Cheers. I was supposed to drink with you. Cheers. This is a good whiskey. This is a really good whiskey. Dangerously smooth. Marcel Dufour says, Tyler Durden, we cook your meals, we haul your trash, we connect your calls, we drive your ambulances, we guard you while you sleep. Do not fuck with us. Mandy Karavich says, speaking of plumbers, we had one at work who was snaking one of the women's commodes while eating a donut. Oh, it was gross and hysterical. Fucking plumbers, man. That's nasty. That is nasty. I did not lose a tooth. It's like I have a mustache hair between two of my teeth. Very weird. Nick Vickers says, hey, sweet cheeks. I finished that journal cover for Miss Raggets. I was making a couple simple wallets for the kiddos. Oh, thank you. That's cool. Sword and Scale says, I'm going to ask about your cuck article when you go on that show. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare ask about it. Don't you dare. Hey, 1 second. There we go. I got it. Yeah, it was a mustache hair. Somehow got between two of my teeth here. There's no way you can see that. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, that was just very, very awkward and uncomfortable. It was going to bother me all show. All show. If you ask me about my cuck article, I just might explode on Sydney Watson. Okay. All right. Now that we're an hour in, Fed video first. Let's do Fed video. It's 4 minutes long. Here we go. I'm going to put me down here. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, shit. I think I forgot to share the audio. Boom. Idaho Plumber says, us plumbers are a special breed, lol. We get used to any smeller site. It just gets boring, to be honest. Like I said, I've got a plumber coming over tomorrow. It'd be great. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. If you don't know who I am, my name is John Crump. I am from a channel called John Crump News. I'm an investigative journalist.
I don't know who this guy is at all.
Activist. If you're wondering why I'm on CRS's channel, it's because our friend Matt has been taken into custody by U.S. Marshals. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and his wife asked me to set the record straight and just to update you guys. This will also be on my channel, John Crump News. Okay, so what happened was CRS took a sponsorship a while ago from a company called Auto Keycard. If you don't know,
too quiet. Oh, just a second. Here we go.
Auto Keycard made a image inspired by a lightning link on a piece of metal. It was etched on there. Wasn't like perforated or anything. It was just etched on there. The government considers that a machine gun for really weird reasons, but whatever. So they arrested Justin Irvin, who was the owner of Auto Keycard. Auto Keycard was a sponsor of the CRS channel. The government is alleging that that equals conspiracy.
Okay. So Auto Keycard sponsors the CRS channel. An Auto Keycard etches something on receivers, like an image, and the government considers that etched receiver to be a machine gun. So the CRS guy, because he accepted a sponsorship, is being charged with conspiracy to manufacture machine guns in violation of the National Firearms Act, I'm guessing. It's not etched on a receiver. What's it etched on? Etched metal card? Wait. It's just a flat piece of metal. Wait, it's just a fucking card? Like it's just a little piece of metal, like they do those wood, like those balsa wood business cards. It's like that. It's an etching of something that would approximate an auto sear if cut out. Literally like a business card sized metal piece. It can be turned into a lightning link. What the fuck's a lightning link? Oh, it's something that allows you to convert an AR-15 to an M4. So it can make your gun fully automatic. Okay. Okay. That's still not a machine gun. That's stupid. That's just a piece of metal. It's just fucking metal. Are you going to ban metal next? What is it? What do we need to ban?
They're saying because he took money from Auto Keycard, that's conspiracy. Now, keep in mind, when he took money from Auto Keycard, it was a company that was incorporated, operating above board and everything else, paying taxes and everything else. So they charge him.
I want to see one of these. Let's get this fucking dangerous weapon. Auto Keycard. All right, here you go. Here you go. Open image, a new tab. I've never seen this. Look, I like guns or whatever, but I'm not a gun. You know what I mean? Here's what they look like. That's it. There's your fucking machine gun. Fully automatic murder factory right here. Dangerous to even show on screen. Come at me, feds. Fuck you. Where can I buy one? Where can I buy these? This is a crime? This is a fucking crime? Are you serious? Holy shit. What are we even doing? Who are we punishing? Who's converting their AR-15 with an auto key card and murdering a fucking town? Who's actually doing that? Nobody. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing any of this shit. Because you don't need. The murders are happening with handguns. And the number of murders versus the number of handguns is embarrassingly small. It's embarrassingly small. The number of gun murders in this country is minuscule compared to the number of guns. I know, oh, more gun crime in America than anywhere else. That's because we have some fucking balls. That's about it. Every other country is so fucking cucked to their governments. They just hand their guns over. They hand their guns over with their anal lube still on them. Fuck all these other countries. Fuck every other country. Every country that's ever handed their guns to their government can get fucked. I hope you get invaded and run over by some like Saudi monster. I don't fucking care about any of these countries anymore who gave away their rights to their government. Fuck you. But soon it's going to be fuck us because we're on the way to doing it. Let's be real about this. We're on the way to giving our guns over to a fucking communist government as well. Fuck you, government. Fuck you, you controlling monsters. You freaks. You fucking pussies. You thieves. Just look what taxes do. Wait till the guns are gone and look what happens to your taxes. Look what happens to your rights, your speech, your assembly, your religion. Look what happens in the UK, in Australia, in Canada. Look what happens as they lose their guns. Look what happens to their culture. Look what happens to their society. Look what happens to their ability to travel or just live or go outside. And it's coming here. because all the fucking fairies here love the idea of there. But we're criminalizing pieces of metal. Pieces of metal is criminal now. You got to have a special license and a $200 tax stamp, right? Fuck me for metal, for a business, for a credit card. Dude, if I were a bank, my debit cards would have that shit etched on them and would have the little chip, right? Little chip reader on the side. It'd be a metal debit card with that shit on it and a little chip reader. Come and take it. Come and take it. I can't believe where we are.
The conspiracy for that. CRS also raised money for Justin Irvin's defense fund, which since that went to Justin Irvin, the government considers that conspiracy for helping someone else out with a legal defense fund.
No speech or assembly allowed when the government's mad. It goes from free assembly to conspiracy. Conspiracy to what? Defend himself in court? Conspiracy to fucking what? What crime are they conspiring to do?
The weird thing is, I've talked to a lot of attorneys, and they all basically say that they've never seen anything like this where the charges are like that.
Yeah, well, I've never seen a $5.55 Little Caesars pizza, but here we are in Biden's ass fuck America.
So, what is happening right now, he had a hearing today, and they're going to keep him over till tomorrow night to decide whether to release him or not. The court is recommending that he be released. The prosecution is saying, hey, we shouldn't release him because he got married after the grand jury, which is kind of weird because I've known CRS and I knew he was going to get married for a long time. So it's not obstruction of justice that he got married, but that's what they're trying to push. Hopefully.
Who did he get married to? Did he get gay married to the guy who's in prison? Now they can't testify against each other or something? Like, that's the only thing that would make sense. What the fuck is marriage have to do with obstruction of justice?
He'll be out tomorrow, but he's going to have to travel from Wisconsin to Florida to defend himself. We are working on getting him some really, really good.
This guy's lisp is pretty brutal. Sorry, buddy. I don't mean to make fun of you, but
lawyers. We also have a GoFundMe where you can donate, and it will all go to his wife. And then we can use that money for a legal defense fund. We also are talking to several different organizations to help out. There should be more on that as the days come by. Just bear with us. Sorry about that. You will be seeing me and Dark from DLD After Dark a lot on this channel because this is how he lives. This is how he feeds his family. So we're going to be doing a lot of videos. He was arrested on the way to film a video when he got intercepted by U.S. Marshals. This is really a travesty of justice, and it shows that tyranny is alive and well in the country. So that is what's going on. If you have any questions, you can.
Tyranny only exists if you're of one political persuasion. That's it. There's no leftists don't see any tyranny. Of course, leftists walk around with a ball gag and an ass plug that both have Biden's picture on it. So, I mean, that doesn't really fucking matter to them. There's no tyranny on the left. There's no censorship on the left. They're not arresting anybody. What are they arresting people for? Pushing critical race theory? Never. They're not doing any of that shit.
Reach out to me and I will help you out. CRS is probably not going to be able to talk too much because, legal reasons. He doesn't want it to firsthand. And I'm not going to talk to him about anything legally. I'm not going to ask for comment. I'm not going to ask for anything. I'm going to tell him to only talk to his attorney. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to anyone else. So I'm not going to know anything more than what the public is going to know, but I will try to keep you informed. This will go up on my channel and also CRS's channel. So if you want to check out my channel, it's John Crump News. But
okay, I'm going to stop there. That's enough of the that's enough. That's the main content that we're looking for. So it looks like I've never heard of these guys. I've never heard of CRS Firearms. Haven't heard of anything. But if we've got the government arresting people over a fucking metal card, I mean, what the fuck can't they arrest you for? What the fuck can't they arrest you for? If they can arrest you for a card with a picture on it. Just a picture. So if I understand, it's basically etched on there. So the picture's etched on there. The theory being, if you had some sort of metal cutting device, right? Maybe even just some good shears or something. I don't know. It looks like a thin piece of metal, but I don't know how like tough it would be. You could theoretically cut out the outline, right? Like that's the idea. So he said it's not perforated. So it's not like an easy punch out where you just have to cut a couple places. But in theory, you could follow the stenciling, the etching, and cut it out. Is that how it works? Can do it with a coat hanger? No, that's how you do abortions, right? Okay, that's what it is. Okay. That should never be a crime. Having the piece shouldn't be a crime. Having the piece in an AR-15 shouldn't be a crime. Trying to make those things have sex shouldn't be a crime. Taking lewd pictures of them shouldn't be a crime. It should only be, it shouldn't be a crime to have an automatic weapon, for Christ's sake. The NFA is fucking tyranny and garbage and bullshit and unconstitutional. And all of the judges who allowed U.S. v. Miller to be argued without an actual representative from Miller should be gutter fucked into oblivion, but they're already dead. I hope they're burning in hell. I hope every fucking Supreme Court justice who made any decision that was one step towards tyranny is getting just prison bunker busted in hell. Fuck everybody who wants to, they want to take, can you imagine going around with your day going, you know what? I want that person to be less free. I want that person to be less free, and that person and that person. You know what? I'm getting a little tired of all of this freedom. We need to stop that. Can you imagine being that guy? I can't imagine shit. I don't want to take away. I don't care about, fuck, do whatever you want. Just don't mess with me. There's so many people out there who are like, who can I ruin today? Whose rights can I impinge upon today? You. I see you on Twitter. It's like that scene in fucking, was it Ghost in the Shell? They just put their hands in front of the keyboard and the fingers join out twice, and there's all these little tendrils. It goes typing like 1 billion words a second. That's what liberals on Twitter are like these days. They're just like, aha, something to bitch about. Their cats are walking all over the keyboards and shitting all over their houses, and they're just rolling around in cat piss and litter. Fucking, I can't stand these people. I can't stand the idea of taking away rights. I don't understand why on earth would you want to do it? Guess what? No one's going to shoot you because no one cares if you're alive or dead anyway. You're boring. No one wants to shoot you. So you don't need to take their guns. They weren't going to shoot you anyway. The number of white women bitching on Twitter about guns. Oh my God, we need to get these. No one's shooting you, white lady. Oh my God, they're shooting white men and black men. That's it. That's an overwhelming majority of shooting victims, white men, black men. No white woman should ever be bitching about a fucking gun crime in America. You're not the victim. The odds of you being a victim are like 1 in 100 million. I can't. And yet they're the ones. They're the ones out there bitching. I know. I know if you're in this chat, it's not you. I already know. All right. Don't worry. If you're here, you're safe. Your family. But these fucking weirdos, it's the danger hairs on Twitter, man. You notice when you look at the victims of shooting violence and stuff like that, you never see a fat, pimply, blue-haired lesbian cut laying on the table. It's never that. It's never that lady. That's the one who's on Twitter bitching all day long. They get the blue, purple, pink, and red streak in their hair with orange on the side that's shaved off so their girlfriend can rub their vagina on their little peach fuzz and get off on it. That's never who's on the table. Yet that's the person who's like, we got to take guns away. It's like, why? You hate the people who are dying from the gun crime. You hate the cis white males. You hate the cis black males. You hate all the people who are dying from gun crime. Why do you want it gone? You're never the target. And we know you're not the target because no one could miss you. You're 900 pounds. It's never them. And I don't want it to be them. I don't want it to be any of these people. I don't want any gun crime or anything like that. Before someone misinterprets, like, Nick Rekieta calls for the murdering of lesbians. No, I don't. I don't want anybody to die. Look at me. I'm a lesbian. Look at this shirt. I'm an honorary member of the Muff Crew. But they're out there. Same ones who are like, if you have a penis, you can't comment about abortion. It's like, well, if you have danger hair, you can't comment about gun crime because no one cares about you enough to shoot you. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I'm struggling. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Okay, here we go. Idaho Plumber says it's 2022. Anything non-woke is criminal. Lane Hamilton says this is why you need the Fudbusters guy on. He's a Florida gun lawyer. Kevin Kinsella says the feds will legit come shoot your dog. The only question is if etching is enough. The perforated ones are illegal. Etching is almost a drawing. The perforated ones are meant to be like the old Punch-Out models. I don't care if they make them and give them to you. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like as a country, what do we do? This is what we're punishing. This is what we're punishing. They're not punishing shoplifting. They're not punishing theft. They're not punishing assaults, batteries. They're not punishing shit. But they're going after fucking pieces of metal that aren't even put in the gun. Think about this. They're going after the potential that you might put a piece of metal in your gun and then subsequently shoot people. And yet, the number of gun crimes committed with automatic weapons it's hard to track. It's so low, they don't even take statistics on it. Rifle crime is already hilariously low. Rifle crime is almost non-existent. Automatic rifle crime is a subset that is effectively zero. Effectively zero. You'd know if it happened, by the way. If there's an actual automatic weapon, full automatic weapon, a real one used in a crime, you would know. It would make national news. They would run it into the ground. It would be the worst gun crime since January 6th or whatever, right? It'd be the worst thing to ever happen in this country. They would go all in on it. You never hear about them. Vegas wasn't an automatic weapon. Vegas was a bump stock. If I remember right. You don't hear about it. It never happens. I mean, everything happens. There's an automatic gun crime out there somewhere, but it's so rare that it's effectively zero. Vegas was a rotary trigger, not a bump stock. I thought I said gun stock. Damn it. It doesn't matter. It's not fully automatic because it almost never happens. It almost never happens. Effectively zero. Again, 365 days in the year, 8 to 10,000 gun homicides in the year. What's that? We'll say 9,000. Count 9,000 divided by 365. We have 24 and a half murders a day by gun, roughly, in the country. And of those, what, one a year might be by an automatic weapon. Might be. It's insane. And yet that's their focus. They're arresting people for this shit. Now that's just automatic weapons. When those occur, how many of them are converted AR-15s, converted into automatic weapons? That many. It's crazy town. Same with 3D printed guns. The untraceable ghost gun. Nobody's using those. Nobody's using liberators. Remember, liberators were supposed to, you could pack them in your backpack. Oh my God, you could print a liberator. You put it in your backpack. You could go on the plane. They'd never know. You get to the country, you buy a nail, then you go and murder a foreign dignitary. Never has happened. Never. Nowhere on earth has anybody been killed by a 3D printed gun that we've ever seen. That I've seen. Maybe someone. Has anybody actually heard of a 3D printed gun killing? Anybody out there? I haven't ever seen one. And yet, what are they going after? Tell you what, why don't you put cops in the gang name? Oh, fuck. Let's be honest about this. Let's be honest right now. Gun crime, the gun crime epidemic in the United States is a gang crime epidemic in the United States. That's it. That's it. If you account for gang and drug-related violence, you account for the overwhelming majority of gun crime, period. But demographics are uncomfortable. I love when people ask me, do you feel safe in Chicago? Yeah, I'm not a black guy. What the fuck am I scared of in Chicago? You know how easy it is to not get shot in Chicago? Just be a white guy not in a gang community. Just walk around downtown Chicago, go to whatever restaurant you want, dance around on the train, go to comedy clubs, go to a bar. You're fine. You're the safest motherfucker on the planet. It's weird. It's wild. It's almost like if you're in a gang and you're in a gang neighborhood, shockingly, you're at a significantly increased risk of death. South side of Chicago isn't safe. Yeah, well, don't go there. Look, you can't go, even as a white guy, you can't go into the gang neighborhoods. But I'll say this. Oftentimes, they'll give you the chance to leave. Because you know what they don't want? They don't want a rando body. Gangs are smart, y'all. They know that cops are a little less interested in going after gang crime. But if random people start dying, then they're like, okay, all right. You can't be killing tourists. You can't do that shit. Then they start looking for people. Then they pick you up. They don't like that. They don't want that at all. They got to explain that shit. They got another governor in another state talking about you. No. So a lot of times they'll let you leave. You in the wrong neighborhood, fam. You're right. I want to turn around and go that way. Is this the quickest way out of here? I'm going to go whatever the quickest way out of here is. Also, here's $100 for your trouble. Thank you, sir, for directing me to the right way. Get the fuck out. Don't go there. Don't do that. But honestly, if you they know where the crime is going to happen. They know where the crime happens. They got a map, and they got a bitch load of push pins in a 3-block radius. Like all the murders are happening here. And then they got a couple, outliers or whatever. They know exactly. It's easy to do this. They do this already. They know where the crimes are coming. They know. But they won't put cops there because it's racist. And they won't put cops there because it's anti-woke. What they have to do is they have to put the same amount of cops there as in the rich neighborhood as they do there. That's the only fair way to do it. And it's our cognitive dissonance, our inability to accept reality, is causing more misery in society than anything else we do. I'll say it one more time. I've talked about this before. And I know a bunch of people hate this guy, but Malcolm Gladwell has an excellent podcast. And he did a podcast about policing. And the basic gist of it goes like this. In every metro area, everyone across the entire planet, not just in the US, in the entire planet, 50% of the violent crime, that's murders, rapes, assaults, robbery, 50% of that violent crime happens in 5% of city blocks. All right. And they've found out that crime is not mobile. So what that means is if you eliminate the crime from that city block, it doesn't move to the next city block or 3 over or 4 over. It's not replaced. It's not replaced. When you actually eliminate crime on a city block, it doesn't migrate because the reality is those criminals are too poor to relocate. Are they blue city? Every city, every metro area, in every country, every country that they've done this study, it's the exact same thing. Look, over time, the crime will eventually move. Eventually, it will move. Of course, basically a new area will start to spring up crime. But the criminal element or whatever isn't mobile. It's not economically mobile. They can't move. So every city across every country, if you focus policing on 5% of city blocks that are identifiable, you'll eliminate 50% of crime. Half of crime in the entire planet will be gone. And they won't do it. They won't do it in America because racism. Instead, they're giving you speeding tickets. They're giving you parking tickets. That's it. That's it. They did the studies, they found the data, and they were like, wow, this is amazing. We can do stuff with this. And people came in and said, nope, targeted policing of those communities is racist, akin to redlining in the mortgage industry. And they're like, but it's not all black communities. And they're like, but it is here and here and here and here. In these cities, it's black communities, therefore it's racist. And they're like, but in these cities, it's white communities. And they're like, doesn't matter, because in these cities, it's black communities. Therefore, it's racist. It's insanity. It's insanity. This cognitive dissonance is killing people every fucking day. Anyway. All right. No Guard says white women must be stopped. Idaho Plumber says, based, I should be able to own a Sherman tank. No questions asked. Yes, of course you should. The government has them, so should we. Exactly. Moy says $20 for my favorite movie reference, Ghost in the Shell, an excellent sound effect. Thank you. Alexander Maxwell says, would it be illegal for the government to impose new qualifications for prospective candidates? For example, a common sense test for the polygraph, see if you can understand basic reality, and if not, prevent your candidacy. Not really. Depends on the office, but probably not. Float Pills says, please toast my siblings, the C.G. Johnsons. They threw me a surprise 40th birthday party last Saturday, turned 40 tomorrow. My sis sent you the email about LARP juror. Bro is based AF, best sibling ever. Thanks for awesome content. Okay, just give me a second. Let's keep the liquor flowing. We'll do the Portugal thing next. I'll do another announcement about tomorrow's midday stream too. All right, to the CG Johnsons, keep being excellent siblings. Brothers and sisters, man, I have one sibling. I remember fighting with all growing up, right? But as we've lived apart and gotten older, and had families and gone through a bunch of bullshit in our own lives, right? As you do, the bond between us has become so much different and so much more valuable than anything I could know. And the crazy thing is when I look at my kids and I think about how there's 5 of them and they get these bonds that they'll get to build and nurture over their lives 5 times as much as I ever did. And I'm jealous of them in that way. But to my sibling is great. Love talking to them. Fantastic. Whenever we get together, it's just laughs for days and joy. And so to Float Pills, the CG Johnsons siblings, cheers. I hope you guys keep having wonderful, fruitful relationships. All right. Trouble Lord says stealing a horse used to be a death sentence since that affected the person's livelihood and their family. Carter says, have you heard about the story of migrants into airports in the middle of the night, potentially by our own government? New York Post has a story on it. Apparently, there's body cam of an officer not taking ID of people on the plane. Never heard of it, but I believe it. Kyle Service says the ghost guns, around 80% stats are fluffed by regular guns with serial numbers filed off. Rob Moreno says ATF leaked memo today for agents to seize FRTs. How can they legally do this? Mr. Guns and Gear posted a few hours ago. I don't know what an FRT is. What the fuck's an FRT? The Sweep says Daddy White and effing Efren were going to jump Ralph when he came to the bowling alley in DFW during WrestleMania weekend. Oh well, no mugger likes sloppy seconds. We got beat up Guns cucked. Debbie O says, I have 4 siblings. We don't always agree on everything. We used to fight when we were little. Every one of us would drop everything and anything if one of the others needed help. There's nothing like that bond. Forced reset trigger. Oh, okay. Okay. So that's like the, if I'm not mistaken, you can make fun of me if I do this wrong. That's like the Eagle Rare triggers, right? Where you pull it and the pneumatic action of the gun resets the trigger and does a separate trigger pull, almost like a bump stock, but built into the trigger mechanism. Is that it? Do I get that right? The rare breed. Eagle Rare's a liquor. Rare breed trigger. Eagle Rare's a liquor. No, yes, basically yes, kind of, not quite, pretty close. Whatever. Close enough for a lawbird. I look, I told you I'm not like, I like guns, but I don't follow like all the stuff or whatever. I'm a normie gun user and owner. I just described a binary trigger. Okay. On release, the gun fires again. Okay, so you pull the trigger, it fires. When you release the trigger, it fires again. So basically, boom, 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 like that. No, it's not a binary trigger. Fuck. Oh my god. That's a binary trigger, but that's not what these are. Rochelle M says, Nick, you lost your mind and voice when you were running around out in the garage at the bed and breakfast in your boxers. Lol. Wait a minute. Rochelle M, you weren't the owner of that Airbnb, were you? That'd be hilarious. Isn't that the name of the person? I think that was the name of the person. That'd be funny. I was saying I had to run out and I was messing with the garage door. The garage door worked the next day. I don't know, but it was like something was in the way and it wouldn't close. So I'm like running around in my boxers in the fucking garage. It was horrifying. So I was at the Airbnb the other day because I had to take Lady Raggets to an appointment in the Twin Cities. And it was very warm in the upstairs. And remember, for me, very warm is anything over about 70 degrees because of the heat allergy. So so for me, I'm upstairs. It's warmer than 70 degrees. So I'm like, okay. And all I had with me was a long sleeve shirt and long pants. Well, pants are coming off. So no pants streaming. Woo. Well, Lady Raggets had to go somewhere. while I was streaming, and I needed to go close the garage. So I'm in my boxers and I go down to press the garage door button, right? And it doesn't actually close. It's like there's something in front of the sensors. And so I was like, oh Jesus, oh my God. So then I have to run outside to the I run out to the sensors, and I'm trying to see if there's any debris or obstruction. There's nothing there. And I go back and it's still, but I'm like, it's cold and I'm running around. And then I get back up and I notice I have like messages on the Airbnb app or whatever. And they're like, hey, can you close the garage door? And I'm like, oh shit, how do they know the garage door's open? And so I didn't know. I mean, they could have been across the street for all I know, watching me laughing. Look at this idiot, bare ass legs sticking out, running around in boxers. Oh my God. If that was you, your place is really nice. I'd probably stay there again. If I ever have to stay in the cities again with the kids, we're definitely going to look into your place. It was perfect. It'd be great if that was actually you. If it was, send me a message on the Airbnb thing or whatever. That'd be funny. Okay, we've got a couple more. BN says forced reset trigger just has the bolt carrier push the trigger forward enough to reset the mechanism so it can be pressed, fired again immediately without having to take your finger all the way off. Got it. That makes sense. And Idaho Plumber says, love you, Nick, but I only have 5 hours of sleep left before work. Lol. Have a great night, brother, and chat peeps. Catch you later, Idaho Plumber. Pray that your compatriot in plumbing will do a good job at my house tomorrow. Okay. All right. What do we got? Okay. Let me do a brief announcement and then we'll talk about Portugal. Tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, there's a hearing for Kyle Rittenhouse. Specifically, the company that is trying to get the money from John Pierce's failed law firm is trying to get the $2 million bail that was posted for Kyle directed to them. That's the hearing tomorrow. Okay. Kyle Rittenhouse's criminal trial is over. He has lots of civil issues going on. And there is a trust fund, hedge fund that purchased the John Pierce law firm, purchased the assets, right? So here's how this works. Law firm is dissolving, but they have some receivable accounts, including this $2 million that they're going to try and take back from Kyle Rittenhouse. So an investment firm, a hedge fund or a trust fund or whatever, makes the purchase of the company and they purchase the right to the assets. So then they take on the effort of collecting those assets. And if they do, the idea is that they would make profit. And so they go around and they buy up a whole bunch of failing companies. That's their whole business model, is to buy up failing companies and then execute on assets that they believe they can recover. And they have experts who do risk assessments on the different assets and find out what their perceived value of those assets is. Now, somebody who's going into bankruptcy, for example, may not have the money to pursue those assets. Even if they're significant, they may not have the money, resources, time to pursue those assets. So when, they'll sell off this big thing, and what they can do then is they can actually extract a monetary value, usually some sort of fractional share, right? But a monetary value out of something they might never otherwise get. And so that's why things work this way. So that's what happened apparently to John Pierce's law firm, something along those lines. And they are now trying to recover the $2 million. But there's some problems with it. The guy who's representing the fund, I believe, is not licensed to practice law in Wisconsin. He's the guy who signed the documents. So that's going to be a problem. Can't do that. You got to be waived in. You got to get permission from the court. So we'll see how that happens. We'll see how that happens. I'll be watching it tomorrow. I will start the stream around 11 a.m. The hearing is set to start at 11:30. I suspect the hearing will be about an hour long. Okay. That's what I suspect. I have no idea. I have a hard cutoff around 2:25 p.m. Central. I will have to go. So hopefully it'll be done long before that. Jason says, I thought Linwood's Fight Back posted the bail. Well, maybe they did. I don't know. I don't know who actually posted it. What I do know is that this guy's trying to get it. So we'll check that out tomorrow live. Jason McConnell says, Runkle out there running around with a kukri stamped credit card. Alexander Maxwell says, all the craziness in the country these days kind of makes all the crazy fun with Soye Toye feel like a fond dream of better days, eh? Lily Blake, I love this. I love this super chat. It says, so enthralling that people think white people have enough time set aside every day to sit and ponder ways to discriminate against people of color. They're just working and living their life. Nobody cares. No offense. No offense needed. No offense needed, because you're 100% right. Like who has time? Like, oh, let me find a way to oppress the coloreds today. Who fucking has time to do any of this shit? Like, you got to work. You got to work. You got family. You got a dog. You got an MMO. Whatever you're doing, nobody has fucking time for any of this shit. That's great. Great chat. Thank you. Thank you, Lily Blake. Appreciate that. Okay, let's talk about the Feltoning, the Guntoning, whatever inning you need. Do you guys know the Ballad of Ethan Oliver Ralph? It's pulled up. Someone has issued me a challenge, and I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail fucking miserably. Okay. All right. So, Ethan Ralph. Let me show you Ethan Ralph in a very specific way. This is Ethan Ralph. Many of you have seen this. This is Gunt Cat. All right. Before I get tagged for nudity, it's very important to note that this is a front ass. That is not an ass. That is not a butt. That is not an anus. That is a stomach. Okay? That is a stomach. That crease you see is when there is enough adipose tissue to bifurcate at the navel for some ungodly reason and to form a giant, weird front ass. Okay? The ass is actually partially visible in this picture. It's in the back. If you notice, it is the negative space. I can't show you with a pointer, but the pants are pulled down in the back. So that negative space back there is a negative ass. All right. This is an anatomy that you cannot replicate in normal life. In normal life, this doesn't happen. This only happens in the weirdo world of the internet. Okay. So, but that is what that is. All right. Where the ass has been basically removed, but is shifted forward into a front ass, a front gunt. When you see gunt in the chat, that's what they're talking about. That is what people are talking about. Okay. This particular gunt belongs to a guy named Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph is the owner of the Ralph Retort. The Ralph Retort started off as a blog and then morphed into a YouTube show that got a show title called The Kill Stream. Okay. The Kill Stream was a very prominent show in the 2018s, I guess. In the 2018s, it was a place where internet retards got together to yell at each other and call each other retarded F slurs. That's it. That's it. You could, and I'm going to use inappropriate language, YouTube, but I'm using it for demonstrative purposes. Okay. You could hear people call each other retarded faggots more there than anywhere else. Like it was, that's what you say, retarded faggot, over and over and over. And the person who could say that more than the other person would win. It was a show. This was a show that happened. All right. They would do this show and they would scream, "You're a retarded faggot." And the other one would be like, "No, you're a retarded faggot." That's how it would go, louder and louder. And the loudest and funniest retarded faggot would win. That's it. And that it was a great show. Everybody loved this. Everybody thought it was great. They're watching, they're donating money, thousands of viewers. And that's what people, that's what was going on. Now, that's at the height of the kill stream. That's at the height of the kill stream. Then there's this show that they do called the heel stream, because the kill stream was getting a reputation for being alt-right. And this is when like alt-right was really kind of becoming a thing, like a naughty swear word. All right. And so they had a reputation for being the alt-right. And frankly, Ralph was a terrible alt-righter, right? He was married to a woman of Pakistani descent. He wanted to be black. He still does. Still to this day. Never seen him in blackface, so he's kind of a quitter on that aspect. But you know, he really wasn't great at being on the alt-right. But that's how he was getting labeled. And so what they decided to do was a thing called the heel stream. The heel stream was a show, a mega show that he did, and this is a great idea. And it was to show that even evil Nazis, heavy on the air quotes, could do something good. All right. And so the idea was that all these evil Nazis got together. They did a big super show, had a whole bunch of guests. First half of the show had one type of guest. Second half of the show had another type of guest. I was on the second half of the show. Dick Masterson was on the second half of the show. I don't remember who all was there. I know Sam Hyde popped in for a while. And we sat and just told a bunch of jokes. Okay. And people donated a whole bunch of money. And all this money was set through YouTube to go straight, not to pass through Ralph, but to go straight to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Jim was there. Worski was there. Keemstar was there. Yes. I mean, we're talking a huge show. And they raised, Atheism is Unstoppable was there. I didn't remember that. Dame Pesos. There you go. Josh Moon was there. So all the bad people you could find on the internet were all there. And they raised $26,000 to go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Well, this is where I learned that you do not do charity streams on YouTube. Don't do it. Don't do it. And so, what colloidal silver? Yes. So After this, there was, I believe, a Wall Street Journal hit piece done on the kill stream. How a bunch of Nazis telling Nazi jokes, which was not true. I think there were some Nazi jokes in the first hour. In the second hour, we're all singing Ram Ranch or whatever is weird. This is wild time. But in the first hour, there were some Nazi jokes or whatever. And they said some Nazis were doing Nazi jokes, raised a bunch of money, and St. Jude's doesn't want it. And so they returned all the money. St. Jude's took they looked at $26,000 and they said, no, we will not accept this money because it came from bad people. And so they returned it and all of the money got refunded. I know because I donated $50. I was poor at the time. Still fledgling YouTuber. Donated $50. Great. Going to St. Jude's. Came back to me. Not a single dollar went to St. Jude's. So they would not take it. And the kill stream was thrown off of YouTube and Ralph was banned forever, which was a travesty. Should not have happened. I am firmly anti-censorship. Following that, immediately after that, was the first and only time Ethan Ralph came on Ricada Law. He came on my show. I interviewed him. I talked about it. That interview is still up. We talked about censorship and what happened. And then he bounced around between these alternative platforms, DLive, Stream Me. He's now on Odyssey and he does a show. He does the kill stream at night and he does a show in the morning time called Tequila Sunrise. Okay. So that's what he does now. So he does 2 shows a day and he gets very interesting people on to have debates about stuff. And then the other stuff he does is watch a bunch of Tucker Carlson. So that's that. But he's kind of known for the debates that he books. And he books some pretty interesting guests. Like he'll get Nick Fuentes on there. He'll have Richard Spencer on there. He's had Styx Hexenhammer. He's had, I think, has Lauren Chen been on there? Maybe Lauren Southern. I don't know. He's had a whole bunch of people. He's got, he punches way above his considerable weight in booking guests. He's very, very good at it. I don't know how he does it, but he does book some pretty interesting guests. Okay. So that's what he does. Mark Collette. Yeah. Mark Collette goes on there. Destiny's been on there. Mundane Matt has been on there. This is all backstory. I am not going to show or talk too much about the downward spiral of Ethan Ralph over the past 2 years. Needless to say, Ralph and I had a falling out. More like Ralph had a falling out with me and I was happy to oblige. That's, if people want to cut ties with me, I will endorse and bless you as you leave. That's fine. So, Ralph got really mad at me and it's a long story. I'm not going to go into too much. Okay. Ralph got mad at me and so we are not on good terms. That being said, recently, Ralph was having Andy Worski as a co-host. And I don't know whatever happened with this. I do not watch the kill stream. I don't watch any political commentary content. I just don't have time. I did not watch the kill stream, but Andy was co-hosting the kill stream for a while and then that stopped and there's some drama between them. I don't know, but Andy Worski was out and Andy Worski said something to Ralph or whatever. So Ralph was going to own Andy Worski by going to Portugal. There's a whole backstory about how a while back, and Andy, I think he talked about it on this show, maybe he was planning to move to Portugal. That was his plan. That fell through. he stayed in Canada getting cucked by Trudeau every day or whatever. But Andy was going to move to Portugal. So Ralph, to let Epic own Andy Worski, decided the other day to impromptu go to Portugal because Andy Worski teamed up with PPP and they did a new show called the Kino Casino. Now, I was on the second episode of the Kino Casino. I pre-recorded a segment with Andy Worski and PPP that they aired on the show. I could not be on live because I was here. I was streaming the Theodore Edgecombe trial. This was Friday of last week. And so I recorded a segment with them, I think on Thursday, or maybe it was Friday I think it was Thursday. After my Edgecombe stream, I recorded a segment with them and they aired it on the thing. Now, also on that Kino Casino episode. Why? Well, they asked me to. That's all. They asked me to. They gave me a time, and I found, I had time to do it. So after on the same show that my recorded segment was on, somebody did something that I don't endorse. Okay, I don't endorse this, but they did it. A guy named Jesse PS, Pod Awful, who I have a long history with Pod Awful, and that's all water under the bridge or whatever. We've had our thing out. That's done. I don't really care, but he does what he does. Pod Awful was on the show as well, and he drove to Ralph's house, which again, I do not endorse this. I never don't go to people's houses, is my opinion. But what he did was he apparently made finger gun like pew 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 or something, and he left a box of diapers because Ralph's girlfriend May is pregnant. So he left a box of diapers. Now Ralph said this was the biggest threat ever. Oh, May is scared. She didn't know she was kidnapped before. Something, I don't know. But he left a box of diapers and made finger guns. Therefore, this is, and Ralph called me out on this. If you saw the thumbnail to this stream, that's that segment that has Ricada Media tagged. He said that I endorsed this behavior or something, which of course I didn't and couldn't have. I didn't know this is happening. I just recorded a segment and they played it on the air, which is fine. I'm happy to do something like that. It doesn't attach me to anything. It doesn't matter. This is Ralph. Ralph's just stupid and flailing anyway. So Jesse PS did this thing. Ralph was very unhappy about it. But to own the haters and the A-logs, to own them, Ralph went to Portugal. Now, mind you, he's talking about how his girlfriend was just threatened or whatever, and because she's 8 months pregnant and very scared. So he fucking leaves. So he leaves and goes to Portugal to own Andy. Now, there's some allegations about stuff Ralph said. I'm not going to get into that, but he leaves like a weirdo. And this is a testament to Ethan Ralph. I mean, I cannot imagine. Look, I've had 5 children. I cannot imagine, even on the 5th one, at 8 months going, see ya, honey, I'm leaving the country. Insanity, absolute lunacy. And this is some of the shit that Ralph needs to get under control in his own life. But that's for another day. Let's see how that's the backstory. Let's see how Portugal went for Ralph. Oh my fucking hell. So this guy says, get out of my country, retard. Ralph says, come make me, bitch. And then this is the result. Pantsu, this is his fiance or whatever, says Ethan is being taken care of at a hospital in Lisbon. He has surgery in the morning to repair his orbital bone because he got fucking wrecked. He will be recovering in there for about a week. Thank you all for the concern and well wishes. He's an incredibly strong man. Cannot wait for his return. Holy shit. Okay. So Ralph got fucking mugged allegedly. But let's get the story right here. This is important. Because Ralph has a version of this story. Now, I'm blocked on Twitter, so I have to do this in a very annoying way. Let's see Ralph's story. This Ralph says, well, I definitely got to experience Portugal in a way I never thought it would. What is it with me and 4-on-1 fights, lol? And forgive my hair. There's not a hairstylist here on call in the hospital. Here's his beat up fucking face. As for what happened, it's a bit blurry, but some guy tried to rob me. I chased him down and then fought him and his friends by myself. I also kept fighting well past the point that would be considered normal. Fighting 4 people at all would be considered abnormal, you fucking idiot. Don't do this, lol. Anyway, might be delayed coming home by 1 to 2 days. Also, shout out to the hospital. Very good care. Had a lot of fun on the trip, but this obviously puts a bit of a damper. Some certain persuasion dude just randomly robbed me, though. It happened. So he blames the blacks. Just wanted to keep people updated on it since it will affect my schedule. Okay, so Ralph's story is that he's robbed. Certain persuasion, I understand to mean a black person. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Robs him. Ralph, I want to remind you, front gunned Ralph, a veritable titan on toothpick legs, claims to have chased someone down. He chased someone and then fought 4 of them. 4 people Ralph is claiming to fight at the same time after chasing anyone. The only thing Ralph is fighting after chasing someone, after getting up to a sprint, is a coronary. That's it. He's not fighting 4 fucking people. I don't believe this story for a goddamn second. I think it's much more likely that Ralph just got fucking mugged by one guy. And there's not, but this man, there's no shame in being mugged. There's no shame in that. Some guy comes up, clocks you, sucker punches you, takes your shit, kicks you in the face while you're down on the ground. That's not your fault. You're not out there expecting violence. You're not some warrior. You're a fucking little manlet. You're a weirdo. Why are you telling this story this way? It's not true. It's not true. Anyway, this is his story. I don't believe it. I think he just got mugged, which is shit. Man should not be mugged. He should not be mugged. But hypothetically, let's get hypothetical here. Ralph is a loudmouth, boisterous asshole online and in person. And it's highly possible that Ralph's behavior is what caused the altercation. highly possible. I've been with Ralph down in Tampa, and Ralph almost got in fights while I was there in Tampa. So, that being said, that is what's going on in Ethan Ralph's life. I do not condone muggings or any of that bullshit. Obviously, he's going to accuse me of, oh, that A-Log's over there glorifying my mugging and goddamn violence. No, Ralph, you should not be hit. But I would just posit to you that it is possible that your behavior and demeanor in a foreign country is what got your ass kicked. Just, it's possible. It's possible. And one other thing. Let's see. This is the worst part of this story. So Ralph has, I don't know if it's famously or infamously, an Armani bag. Had an Armani bag. $1,000 Armani bag, a man purse, a man bag, something. That's gone. Now there's a listing, brand new listing for an Armani bag from Portugal. So oh no. Oh no. Oh shit. That's terrible. That's terrible. I don't know where this actually is. This is just a screenshot. I can't buy it. I don't know where the fuck it is. Maybe I should ask Gator. Gator, where'd you find this? I'll buy it. Ship it to me. Oh shit. So this is what Giorgino Bolsa Giorgino Armani. This is the story of Ethan fucking Ralph. That's where he is right now. That's what's going on in Ralph's life. Look, it's really a shame. It's really a shame. He should not be engaged in these antics. He should not be engaged in this shit. Ralph, just do your show. Just do your fucking show. If you would just do your show, if this man would just do a show, he would, even after getting kicked off of YouTube, all Ralph ever had to do was just do a show and people would watch. He can't. He can't do it. He just fucking can't. He's got to be everything he used to make fun of. Thin-skinned, idiotic, boisterous braggart with nothing to brag about. And it's so weird and embarrassing to see. And you keep thinking, okay, today's the day that Ralph is going to turn it around and do something good. Nope. He never listened to Jim. All he had to do was listen to Jim. Just do the show, you weirdo. Just do the show. So, but he can't. All right, let's talk about Breyer. That's what I got here. That's it. We don't need any more of that. I do apologize. I have to put a soulless demon on screen for a minute. Cave says that listing says in Portuguese, finding is not stolen. Oh, shit. No, totally not stolen. Found it. It's weird. Just found it. My Twitter is gone. Oh, I doubt that. I didn't do anything, which is surprising. Guess it's possible. No, my Twitter's still here. It's just fine. Whew. Almost to 84,000 Twitter followers. Okay, here we go. So here I have to put a soulless monster on the screen. I'm sorry. Angry Baneling just ejaculated. All right, this is Jen Psaki, and we're going to listen to her talk. We're not going to watch this whole thing's 43 minutes, but her segment on Supreme Court is not 43 minutes. If you don't know, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer has formally announced his retirement as of today. Now, it's a little strange because yesterday is when Stephen Breyer announced his retirement, but he wasn't planning to do it yet, allegedly. He was not planning to do it, but today he personally handed in his letter of resignation to the president of the United States. So here, let's see. And Psaki will mention that.
Century. Companies are investing in new manufacturing lines and
but here we go.
Century. Companies are investing in new manufacturing lines and factories here in the United States.
I want to point out that Jen Psaki is talking about how great the U.S. economy is. Does it feel great, guys? Does it feel fucking great? The Biden economy? Does it feel good? Does it feel good enough to look at this fucking mug every day?
United States, with recent announcements of Intel in Ohio and GM in Michigan, we're making the future in America again. The president is going to Pittsburgh tomorrow. Some of you, I'm sure, will be joining him on that trip, and he'll be talking about how far we've come in getting our economy moving again, making more right here in America, and ensuring all workers benefit. He'll highlight the 367,000 manufacturing jobs that our economy has created since he took office, and he'll underscore the vital role the federal government can play in bringing workers and businesses together. And the president is going to call in Pittsburgh He's going to visit Pittsburgh. While he's visiting Pittsburgh, he's going to talk about our continued plans to out-innovate, outbuild, and outcompete the world with the sort of competitiveness legislation that he has long championed. Of course, we love charts, as you know here. So this is just a chart to show you.
You dumb bitch. What is the legislature going to do to make us outbuild and outcompete the world when all you do is make building and competing harder on us? Fuck you. The American economy persists despite government, not because of it. Insanity to think, to assert that the government is going to help manufacturing in some fucking way. Get out of the way and we will build everything. Because we've done it for 200 years. But you keep cutting off our building. You keep making it not profitable. You keep making it harder. Just let us go.
All the direction of economic growth, which of course it is moving in the right direction. Also wanted to note that since November 1st, 14.5 million Americans have signed up for quality, affordable health care, including more than 10 million who enrolled through healthcare.gov.
Just remember that the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act was passed 10 years ago, and they've still got people signing up because it still hasn't fixed the insurance list problem that we had before. It was never a problem. That's the problem, is that it was never a problem. 47 million uninsured Americans, they don't want insurance. It's a transient status. People between jobs, they're going to get insurance back.
the highest numbers ever produced in an open enrollment period. This is in large part thanks to the American Rescue Plan, which did more to lower costs and expand access to health care than any action since the passage of the Affordable Care Act. And everyone has until January 31st to sign up for additional coverage.
See those fake ass eyelashes? Not even a good job.
With that, Darlene, why don't you kick us off?
Look at that. Look at this. You can almost see the two different layers of her natural eyelashes and then the extended filler eyelashes that are on there. Bitch, don't you have someone who can do a good job on this? Oh my God.
Stop.
Thank you, Jen. A couple of questions on the Supreme Court now that Justice Breyer's retirement is official, and one quick foreign policy one. The president just said that he intends to nominate someone by the end of February. We have seen...
Not someone. The president has indicated that he intends to nominate an African American woman. Those are his primary qualifications for Supreme Court Justice of the United States. He does not plan to admit or to nominate a strong legal scholar, an experienced trial lawyer, someone whose focus is on civil rights or something like that. Nothing like that. African American woman, first qualifications. I thought it was bad to discriminate based on race and gender. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I thought that was the bad news. That was a bad plan. That's not the things we're supposed to do. Yet the primary qualifications from Biden are race and gender. Been far too long. Long time coming. Gonna appoint an African American woman. I tried to put all the African Americans in jail with the crime bill. I failed. And thank God, God love it. We're gonna now appoint an African American woman judge.
Some slippage in past White House deadlines of Fed nominees was an example recently. So how hard and fast is the end of February deadline the president just set for announcing a nominee? Or do you see a scenario where it could slip into March?
Well, the president said he intends to nominate. So that is, it makes clear that this is a priority for him. He will obviously be spending time on it. As I think you heard him say as well, he's already been reviewing bios of potential candidates. That's something that he's been doing since last year. But beyond that, Darlene, I think the president also knows from
He's been waiting for Breyer to fucking die already since last year, and we really just wish he would have fucking cooperated sooner and maybe drank some glass bits. But he didn't and refused to retire. So now we're happy he's finally getting his ass out of that chair so we can put someone younger and more useful to the cause in it.
From his long history as former chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee and as the vice president, when there were two Supreme Court nominees, confirmed that you want to pick the right person, and he takes his role seriously, including the importance of the consultation with the Senate.
Is there anything you can add on how quickly he would like to see the nominee clear the confirmation process once?
This bitch has no soul.
See names that individual.
I'm not here to set deadlines. It is clear that the president's focus is going to be, as you heard him say, on the process of selecting a nominee, someone who will be qualified, who, as I think you heard him say, who will be worthy of the decency and excellency of Justice Breyer's legacy, somebody with character, experience, and integrity, and that will be a...
Oh, God, worthy of Justice Breyer's legacy? No! Look. I respect Breyer for being consistent. But Breyer is consistently fucking stupid. Okay? That's at the end of the day, if consistency is all you get, it's not all that valuable. Breyer believes that the the Constitution is not a thing set in time. He thinks that the Constitution changes with us. Like going against the literal purpose of the Constitution, he thinks that the Constitution runs in a direction with the country, as opposed to being something that is set apart from the passage of time, which is what it actually is. The Constitution is actually to stand apart. That's the whole purpose from the rest of time. It is to remove from the democratic Republican process certain things. It is to set a very high bar to change certain things, like your freedom of speech should not be abrogated or mitigated by an act of Congress. That's all. That's what it says. Simple. If you want to change that, if you want to be able to mitigate or abrogate speech, all you have to do is get a supermajority in the House and the Senate, and then get 35 states, 38 states, whatever it is, to sign off on it and pass a constitutional amendment. That's all you got to do. Now, it's really hard to do, and there's a reason. There's a reason it's hard to do. They did not want, the founders who wrote the founding documents did not want what we have. They did not want courts to limit the Constitution. They did not want judges and legislatures to reinterpret lines in the Constitution. They said, this is what we're doing. These things we are setting outside of the normal process for passing laws. And it's going to be a much higher standard. But if the whole country agrees that something needs to change, it's really easy to change it. But if the whole country disagrees, or if even it's split 50-50, then maybe it shouldn't change. Maybe the idea that you shouldn't be searched improperly without a warrant shouldn't change. Maybe your right to an attorney shouldn't change. Maybe the government stealing your stuff being wrong shouldn't change. But it does. It does change now. It changes through the courts because of Marbury versus Madison and 250 years of Supreme Court jurisprudence that says they can just change it. They can change the Constitution. You have to go through a huge fucking mess to change the Constitution. Court can do it like this. Stroke of a pen. Done. Breyer believes in the second part. He believes it's the court's duty to reinterpret the Constitution constantly, like a continuously variable transmission, right? To constantly change with the times. It's not what it's supposed to be. So nominating someone who matches Breyer's legacy is a fucking nightmare. Put me in, coach. I'll do it right. I'll be the only judge who will ever do it right 100% of the time.
A rigorous process, but that is the next step in the process. And of course, beyond that, he will be working closely with Chair Durbin, Ranking Member Grassley, and other members of the Senate Judiciary Committee to confirm the nominee as expeditiously as possible.
One more on that before the quick foreign policy question. He said at the news conference last week that he kind of underestimated the level of GOP pushback to him and his agenda. And
Oh, did you? I'm sorry. Did you not get the memo that more than half the country doesn't like what you're doing, Joe? Nobody likes you because you're horrible at this.
we all think that his nominee will not be spared any pushback. So how interested is the president in a bipartisan confirmation vote for the nominee, or would he be, open to a Democrats only confirmation vote?
Well, Darlene, as you heard the president say directly, he's going to work in good faith with senators of both parties. And there are historic parts of these processes that include the advice, receiving the advice, welcoming the advice.
Historic parts of these policies, bitch, it's in the Constitution. The advice and consent of the Senate.
advice from members of both parties, and that's something he certainly intends to do. As you heard him say, I expect we'll have more details on what that will look like in the coming days. And he's also
I know what it'll look like. Biden will appoint someone. The Senate will hold a hearing. If it gets enough votes, they're in. If it doesn't get enough votes, they're out. You know, I know what it'll look like because that's what it's always looked like.
also grateful to the Republican members who have already indicated they plan to work with him. But I think we also
Romney.
should be clear about some of the games that.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear, you fucking liar. What are you going to be clear about? You're gonna call someone's opinion invalid. I already know. I watched this part, so I already know.
We're already seeing indications of out there. We have not mentioned a single name. We have not put out a list. The president made very, very clear he has not made a selection. And there are, if anyone is saying they plan to characterize whoever he nominates after thorough consideration with both parties as radical before they know literally anything about who she is, they just.
Who she is. Who she is. You fucking liar. You fucking liar. Of course you know. Of course you already know, you dumb bitch. Of you liar. Who she is. You've already picked. They're going to call her radical because Joe Biden will only appoint someone radical. Because guess what? Joe Biden isn't doing the pick. It's not Joe. Joe's not picking. Joe wouldn't pick a black woman. He doesn't like black people. Remember how Joe Biden described black children as little roaches? Joe is hilariously racist. Just let him go. I want to get Joe drunk at a party in the South, right? I remember back in the South. Oh, we used to call black people tree ornaments back then. Holy shit, Joe. What the fuck, man? Joe Biden is ridiculously racist. He has been. Go look at his crime bill. It was entirely designed to remove black men from society. Wholesale. That's what he wanted to do. He still does. Senile old Joe hasn't changed. His handlers have changed. They're trying. Joe would never pick a black woman. They just told him he was looking for a housekeeper. That's who he's going to appoint.
Just obliterated their own credibility. So our intention is to not play games. The president's intention is to consult with members of both parties, and his intention is to nominate a qualified candidate who, after completing a rigorous process, who is worthy of the excellence and decency of Breyer's legacy.
And then the foreign policy question is, has the president already spoken with President Zelensky of Ukraine?
It's happening this afternoon shortly, and I expect we'll have a readout of that as soon as it happens. Sure, go ahead.
Wait. Joe Biden's going to talk to Ukraine? Weird. That's never happened before. Is he familiar with the Ukrainians? Never heard of the Biden in Ukraine. That's weird.
If the White House is helping the president to sort of lead this search effort, is this Ron Klain who's helping him go through this process, and would he then be the person to kind of shepherd the nominee through the Hill process as well, through meetings and such?
Sure. Well, first, the vice president will play a central role in this process, and the president.
Oh, the vice president will play a central role. Oh, fucking kill me. I think there's more here.
Message to the Ukrainian president today as we witness this continued buildup of troops along the Ukrainian border of Russians.
Well, I would view this call as part of regular engagement with the Ukrainian government. This will be the third time the president and President Zelensky have spoken in just the last few weeks since December. They'll discuss the latest diplomatic and deterrence efforts with Russia. The president will reaffirm the United States' commitment to supporting Ukraine's sovereignty and a check-in.
Is assessment. Has the Biden administration changed its assessment that a Russian invasion is imminent?
I thought it was here.
Well, I would add since that.
That Russia is now.
I would say there's a couple of ways we look at that, Peter. One is, as you know, we're continuing to strongly encourage U.S. citizens who are.
I bet you look at that, Peter.
Ukraine. American citizens certainly that would be a decision. Certainly the Russians.
The number remains 8,500 though for us.
Bios, so I'm not going to define the short list. Any changes?
Here we go. Here we go.
Go ahead.
How soon do you expect to have a short list for the president of the Supreme Court nominees?
I expect we will have a short list.
How soon? Sorry.
I can give you an exact prediction of that. I will note, Steve, that the president has been reviewing bios, so I'm not going to define what that being the short list, but I will tell you that he has already started reviewing potential candidates.
Your time
He should pick the next Supreme Court justice on Tinder.
frame for getting someone confirmed. Would you like to have it done by June, or what are you thinking?
As expeditiously as possible, Steve. But the president also notes, and I think this is important because I know there have been a range of calls out there for a timeline. His view, and this goes back to Ed's earlier question, this is a nominating someone to serve in a lifetime appointment on the Supreme Court.
It's not a lifetime appointment if they retire. Breyer, you coward.
Want that to happen as expeditiously as possible, and we will call out games as we see them, but the president's focus is on nominating the right person. He said he's intends to do that in February, and then working closely with the chairman and ranking member from there.
Do you expect them to only consider sitting judges?
Well, the president believes that sitting judges can make excellent justices, but he does not believe that is a prerequisite.
Last thing,
Oh, please appoint someone fucking stupid. Please. Oh, it'd be great.
on Ukraine, Russia says it needs time to review their U.S.
Okay, that's it. Now we're back to Russia and Ukraine. I don't want to sit here and belabor fucking Jen Psaki. What an idiot. Ugh. Sheldon Hall says, if they saw the fat folds that man purse came from, they wouldn't be able to give away the man purse. Redbeard says, love you. Love you too, buddy. Very much appreciated. I mean, look, there's no stopping this train. There's no fixing this fucking party. Party being the whole country, not like a political party. There's no fixing this. This is a disaster. It's going to be a disaster. Michelle Obama for SCOTUS. God, I hope. Yeah, please do it. Just do it. Just put us out of our fucking misery. Put that goddamn mannish woman up on the court. Please, just do it. It'll be the first trans justice. No, I don't think it's going to be anybody we readily know. I've heard Michelle Obama. He's not going to appoint Kamala Harris. I've heard the theory. Kamala Harris, appoint Hillary to vice president, and then have Joe resign, and Hillary takes over. What a disaster. It's going to be some random black female judge somewhere in the country, and they'll be super radical on various issues. Of course they will. Of course they will. It's not Joe who's doing it, by the way. Just like it wasn't Trump who picked Amy Coney Barrett. It wasn't him. There are groups that track the shit. Who here knows how a judge rules? Who can honestly say they know how any judge rules? And if you know one, do you know two? Like, really you track a judge's decisions? Most places, of course, don't. However, there are people who are paid to track certain decisions. Those people work for places like the Federalist Society and other places, of course. And then they'll make a list, and that list will go to Joe, and then Joe will pick from the list. Stacey Abrams, that'd be horrible. God, that would be a fucking disaster. Okay, guys, it's about time to read the super chats and wrap up here. Holy shit. This show has been going for 2.5 hours. It's late. I do need some sleep. You can still hear my voice is obviously not recovered fully yet. I sound better now than I did this morning. So that's good. But I think it might be related to these. I'm taking my allergy meds again. And if you don't know how antihistamines work, they fucking dry you out. They dry you out like crazy. Oh, they dry you out like a woman when Ron Toye walks in the room. Whoa, it's a Sahara Desert down here. Sandpaper City. Jesus. So anyway, speaking of those, I'm going to go ahead and take some of those right now. Now it's a pill stream. Okay. Just so everybody's very clear, it's this Aller-Ease. It's fexofenadine hydrochloride antihistamine. It's prescribed by my doctor. It's nothing crazy or wild. Okay. Let's do these chats. Tomorrow, I thought today was Friday earlier. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Well, I'll start it at 11:30 a.m. Kyle Rittenhouse bail money hearing. John Pierce's law firm's acquisition fund is trying to get the money. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And then we'll have a show tomorrow night, of course. Rudolph enough. Well, are you? Are you duff enough? Well, are you? Says SCOTUS became obsolete the moment they allowed the first unconstitutional law slip through the cracks. As for the government glowy assigned to me, go play with yourself. Keep up the good work, Nick. America first. Gonna get Barnes on for that one. I mean, I'll invite him. I don't know if he'll come on or not, but he's welcome to. I miss Mr. Barnes. I haven't talked to him in a while. I know some people out there think there's drama between me and Robert, but I don't know of any. I mean, I guess it's always possible, but not on my end, and I don't think on his end either. So I'll obviously invite him. I would love his commentary and expertise if he has time on the Rittenhouse money. I think it's an interesting sort of case. Where does it go? Where does the money go? I saw someone in the chat saying that if they were Kyle, they would auction off the AR-15. Yeah, they should. He should do that. But he's in a weird move petitioning to have it returned so it can be destroyed. And I don't think it's Kyle's rifle. I don't think the court should give it to him. It's Dominic Black's rifle. So I'm not sure why Kyle would get it back in the first place to have it destroyed. Dominic Black never affected a transfer of ownership to Kyle of that rifle. It's not his. So that's weird. But if you're going to get it back, auction it off. I'll buy it. Just Dawn says the top SCOTUS candidate hates Whitey and literally sees white supremacists everywhere. Another candidate is an SJW, not a judge, but also very scary. Pete Bronson says Robert spoke well of you earlier in the week regarding law and crime drama. Yeah, I think people on the internet get weird ideas about drama, and like I said, I'm not aware of any, and I don't suspect any either. I've just seen it in chats and stuff. People are like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But I want to, as far as I know, that's all rumor and speculation. But I'll certainly be inviting the law panel in general, and Robert is in our chat, so of course I will ask him if he would like to come on, because it's a complicated issue, and I think he would provide some good insight to it, being someone who's pretty well versed in Wisconsin law. Debbie O says it didn't seem like Barnes had animosity towards you when he was talking about your law and crime issue. He said it was BS and you were the wrong person to F with on this. He seemed cool, not hostile. Yeah. Again, to be very, very clear, I have not seen anything. I think some people may have misunderstood some things, and that's fine. So. Body says all law and crime says about you is that you violated the court ruling about live streams and it makes them all look bad. That's it. Well, I mean, there was that, and they sent me a cease and desist letter, which accused me of a whole bunch of shit that isn't true. That's the other thing that law and crime says. They also were too stupid to read the court order. They could have live streamed that trial. Absolutely. The court order didn't apply to them or anybody else outside of local news media, which is what it says. It says clearly in the court order that local news media was not allowed to stream it to YouTube. That's it. Everybody else could do whatever the fuck they want. All right. Let's do super chats. We're going to start with the chats over on Odyssey. Tina B says, well, maybe more of these crazy white women need to be shot, and fuck YouTube for not letting me say that. Well, I get the sentiment. Of course, no one is condoning actual violence. American Legend says 100% pure, unadulterated truth. Great US says, oh my God, Nick, I not know you possessed by demon. I'll try to look up some way to help you. Also, YouTube mods suck as hard as usual, and Odyssey mod free heaven. Boomhauer says, hey, man, dang old looking for group, man. Looking at Ravensy says, Nick, past 2 nights I see chat, but get this error message on the player. Everything else, live replay on Odyssey works for me. I don't know what's going on. Sorry. I see this stream. S-Toucher says, any plans on covering Chris Chan saga if it goes to trial? Next appearance is on February 3rd. I've heard that next appearance is not public. If his trial's public, I'll cover it live. I don't think it's going to be. Leona says, Cannabro's actions as described by the prosecution sounded completely insane, and yet he was not able to use the insanity defense. What do you need to do to be legally insane? That's not lying for a year about your fake life, murdering your parent over a son. I am disappointed in chopping them up. The insanity defense requires you to be unable to conceive of the rightness or wrongness of your actions. So here's the crazy thing. If you believe, for example, because you have some sort of dementia or insanity, that your neighbor is Adolf Hitler, and you want to punch Hitler or kill Hitler, you're like, the Nazis, they are here for the Jews. And so you go next door and you kill your neighbor believing they're Adolf Hitler. But you know that killing is wrong. You just think that they're Hitler. You're not insane. Because you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong to kill, but you're willing to kill Hitler and go to jail. Right? You're not crazy enough. So that's the idea. Do you know your actions are wrong? Are you able to conceive of right and wrong? That's the typical sort of general idea of insanity. I hope that helps. It's a weird distinction. But if you know what you're doing is wrong, it doesn't matter if you're crazy about who you're doing it to. All right. Phoenix, and Leona says, can I sue someone for saying in a Discord message that I posted child porn when that shit didn't happen, or does it not work because it wasn't public? In theory, you can. In practicality, I mean, did it cause you harm, like damage? You're going to have a hard time with damages unless you can actually show that it caused you damage. Okay, here we go. Phoenix Lord says, will the Overlord be joining us tonight? After all, I'm assuming that the tenderized gunt was left quivering with an ear of corn bent in the shape of a crescent moon. I did not invite Josh on tonight. I would. I'll invite him on soon. Toby Jean Almy says, LawTube forever. May I submit? If LawTube takes off, I'll travel to court as private media to get awesome shots of angry judges and rambling attorneys. We've had some people offer to be on-scene court reporters. I don't know if we're quite there yet. Sam Walther says, welcome to Life in Tech Support. Goose Fraba Man. Ninebreaker 2 says, congrats on the recent Brawny paper towel sponsorship. And Cybertaz says, he's a lumberjack and that's okay. He streams at night, but he's still late and gay. He also says, rest in peace, irate prostate, great interviewer. Dan, thank you for the donation. B. Ivory Law says, I demand a refund of my $1.99 super chat last night. I read your super chat last night. Well, I read your last night's super chat today. Bigot. Matthew Vicari says, use this money to make B. Ivory Lamar style video for Ricada Law Firm graphics. S. Asp says, dude, I feel your pain. This COVID voice sucks. Tara Rayner says, Justin Breadlines Trudeau is isolating from COVID, providing his cowardice, should follow his father, took a winter walk, then resigned. Nah. Hey, goodbye. We're rising up. Mr. Mediker says, purse theft is the #1 international crime, according to Interpol. God damn it. Mario Carter says, so you're saying Gunt has his guard down? I did. Yes, I guess. Nikki Marie, welcome to Paralegal. S. Cybertaz says, Ethan Oliver Ralph running LOL. Ponton says, the godfather of LawTube has arrived. Stand in reverence and acknowledge him. Philibooty says, Guntosaurus had his man purse stolen. Cars and Depth says, my cousin is treating me to a scotch for doing some custom embroidered yarmulkes. Any thoughts on Berkelatic, the classic Laddie, or Glenkinchie 12? I like both of those. They're both great scotches. Errant Cognition says they just found that the COVID vaccine is a safe and effective way to prevent streaming issues. Just 17 boosters over the next 3 years, and you're good. Potentially Criminal says, can you get Joe's wife to drive tomorrow? PS says, got suspended on Twitter tonight. Someone was saying the unvax should be refused medicinal service. I said he should be tarred and feathered. Instant suspension under 2 seconds, so don't say that. STFU says, Nikita at night, all the hate, all the time, bitches. P.S. It's crazy, man. They're saying that they're saying that a whole group of people should be refused medical service. You say tar and feather the person, they're gone. Bobbert says, trials. What trials? STFU says, San Diego got a lot of Somalia. Weird folks. Next, he says, rename Law and Crime, Jack and Murphy after Nick's done. Concealed Aces says, I live 10 minutes from the bourbon capital of the world. Got old after a short while, lol. It's cool living close to so many historical sites, though. IR Mad Cow says, I feel like a battered wife. I can't get over you. Damn you. Trooper says, hey, King, you ready for Justice Donna Brazil? Imagine having 3 ham beasts and a Stepford cat fighting all the time. You know she'll hate Clarence. S. Cybertaz says, no, Jim is our God. You're his merry law jester. STFU says, can I deduct my super chats from your retainer? Yes. Let's go. Brandon says, I've offered Law and Crime serial favors on behalf of Attorney Tom. He also says, damn autocorrect, sexual favors. Tux loves you. Says, show my gunt. Bainling says, oi, Nick, where's the Vic news? Give Vic news, please. No Vic news tonight. I said to Lady Rackets, they will never decide on this case. Mid-tier Alpha says, Miss Venti sends bimbo power. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Rottweiler says, my father, sister, and myself came down with the coof. Mild symptoms, but a prayer for a prompt recovery will be appreciated. Keep it up. Cheers. Absolutely, Rottweiler. I do hope everybody gets better very quickly. Ann B. Feinstein says, as a home brewer of beer, you'd be amazed at how much craft soda we ship to friends and family. Alfira says Gun Owners of America broke the upcoming ATF actions. If anyone is interested in supporting pro 2A law groups, they're great in Firearms Policy Coalition. They don't donate. They've done a ton of lawsuits against government. As Cybertaz says, wear the beard on You Are Here. Scorpigai says, introduce them to Drex and let the lulls proceed. Iker 1096 says, I've got the full vid I can send. Where? No way they knew it was a box cutter. It's justified all day. Houston, Ferguson, Milwaukee all had officers shot today. Ray, former cop, disabled on duty. Oh yeah, I was going to do the cop video. Shit. My drops in. Shit. Okay. Finding the stream. Fuck, just a second. Fuck is this? Unedited video. Here we go. Oh, fuck me. Here we go. Sorry about that. I had to find it real quick. Oh, let's do this. Put me down here in this useless white space. Black space? Black face? Here we go.
Another guy up from the police, he went in the back.
Okay, so this guy over here, he's the guy. You got officers here, you got officers over here. A couple shotgun bros coming up. An AR-15 guy just ran by. Oh shit! Well, we'll watch it one more time.
Oh shit. Three, my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, justified. Unless they knew it was a box cutter. Unless they knew that was a box cutter, that's justified all day. You see how he did this with his hands? He did this with his hands, put both of them up like it was a gun. So unless they knew it wasn't a gun, if they knew it wasn't a gun, that makes it really complicated. But it looks like they knew that shit, or they did not know that shit was a box cutter from there. That is fuck me. What are you doing? No, that looked justified to me. Yeah, a lot of people saying suicide by cop. I think so. Only one hand? No, he had both hands up. I'm gonna watch it again. I'll show you the frame. Here, we'll do it this way. See, he's got two hands. See him raise both hands and put him up like he's gonna shoot, like he's got a gun. Blam 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 blam. Two hands up. You do a motion like that, you're gonna get fucking plugged. What are you doing? So yeah, the only thing that would change my mind on that is if they knew for a fact that he had a box cutter and didn't have a gun, which doesn't seem likely. Vienna waits for you. Says hit the like button, people. It'll cost you nothing. Yeah, go ahead. If you like the video, please hit the like. Please do that. Simple Sandman says, sipping the Elijah Craig bourbon tonight. Did you catch Viva Barnes' interview with Joseph Lavorgna last night? Thoughts? If not, highly recommended. I did not. Again, I don't watch legal and political commentary from anybody else. It's not personal. I don't have time. I watch cooking videos on YouTube. That's it. Just how to make pasta. Connection error says, you are looking a little rough today, Nick, but not as bad as that overweight man who had his purse stolen. Looks like someone tried to abort the retort. S. Asp says, I just tagged you in the raw I-65 shooting on Twitter videos from Facebook. Anger on the Red Angel says, can we finally agree the government is fascist now? Going after rando YouTube for a sponsorship. Oh, yeah. I mean, they've been fascistic for a while. Robert Brewer says, just put in my 2 weeks at my CNA job I worked at for 8 years. I made my choice, opting to leave before I'm let go. Time for a new job. Cheers. Good luck, brother. Kevin Speaks on it says, Nick, no voice, pain. Please check Twitter DM if you could retweet the link I said under the same name. Kevin Speaks on it. When's the next time Mrs. Rackets will take our money? I don't know. Braden Grimaldi says there is a coat hanger registered as a machine gun because it's an auto sear. Yes, you can use a coat hanger to go full Burt if you know what holes to drill, but do not do it. Next, he says, ATF, anything fun's illegal. You see the Leaf Truckers. I have seen the Leaf Truckers. They've been heroes lately. Name 530 says, keep in mind the BATFE used to literally call a shoelace a machine gun. Greg McKay says, two base, lol, preach king. Gun Doctor TV says, CRS is a friend and fellow gun tuber. Bring me on. Gun Doctor, hit me up an email if you're still around. I'd like to talk more on the issue, but I'm not doing it tonight. Phantom Boomer says, anymore, machine gun is whatever the ATF says it is. Window Lick says, nobody tell him about the time the ATF defined a shoelace as a machine gun. The Dread Duck says, check out the full text of the indictment. Charges are insane, and it all ends with asset forfeiture. Have we had enough freedom yet? Asset forfeiture is criminal by itself, in my opinion. Todd L. Cole says, a Ford metal key killed in Waukesha. Oh, shit. Yes, the key to a Ford Explorer. MKEOD says, you can make the same sort of device with a wire coat hanger. It'll make a semi-auto AR fire full auto if you install it in the lower receiver. Not applicable says, so is the stencil illegal too? Pure Calumny says, similar case about illegal pieces of metal from 2020. Google Timothy John Watson criminal complaint. First few pages are nuts. SCFU says, doesn't conspiracy require an underlying crime? It is the intention to commit a criminal act and some act in furtherance thereof with another person. Al Fiver says, William Sachs from Firearms Policy Coalition would be fun for you to talk to. GOA and them brought 2 cases against Cali, New York, federal government, etc. Good people. Europa Chronicles says, I do not agree with this trash, but the auto key card meets the NFA's machine gun definition of any part designed for use in converting a weapon into a machine gun. Iker1096 says, sent DM on your Twitter with video of shooting in Nashville. Carly Collette says, you can do it with a rubber band. Alan Powell, the real AP, says, in one video, CRS told people they could scratch their full auto itch by buying one, cutting out the lightning link, using it, and then disposing of it. Not recommended, but not illegal. Christopher Violante says, don't Google the Yankee Boogle. Europa Chronicle says, by the way, the ATF once designated a shoelace. Yes, a shoelace as a machine gun, and it remained a valid ruling for 3 years. Abolished the ATF. Mr. Bentham says, it's not approved pieces of metal, comrade. It is not approved piece of metal, comrade. Okay. Only approved metal is approved. This metal not so approved. Okay. You can't have particular shapes. You get particular shapes, we ship your ass off to Gulag. Radio Ruin says rights are fake and gay. Force is all that matters. Your rights only exist because of greater power than the individuals enforcing them. STFU says future potential homicide is thought crime, right? Ann B. Feinstein says, I've never heard of a 3D printed gun killing, but it sounds like great fodder for a manuscript, aka fiction. Not applicable says leftists historically are the political assassins. We tune TOC. Oh my God, no, Nick. Yes. We tune TOC says that's because you can't buy a full auto gun manufactured and registered after 86. If you can find one for sale, it's usually north of 15 grand. That's true. Mel Klomp says, is it true Nick is an honorary lesbian? I am the one who issued his membership card. Oh, it is true. Yes, I am. Thank you, Mel. Not applicable says they did the first one even. John Wilkes Booth. SCFU says 6% commit 60% of red rum. Screw the YouTube censors. Soleil 333 says literally walked around lost in downtown Chicago at 3 a.m. was fine. Was it stupid? Yeah, probably. But F that station employee that blocked me from getting on my train that made it happen. Jokey Pokey says, Nick, what do you think of the ability to 3D print firearms and firearm components such as the Yankee Boogle and its consequences in relation to gun control? Let me be very, very clear on this. No one should allow anyone to print anything because there should be no ability to disallow people to print anything. It's not your fucking business what I do in my house. If I want to personally build a howitzer, a machine gun, a nuke, whatever in my house, then fuck you. Period. There you go. There you go. That's it. That's all that matters. 3D printed gun? Yes, absolutely. 3D print money? Yeah. Wait, why shouldn't you be able to make fake money? Now you can't buy stuff with fake money because it's fraud, right? This isn't real money I'm giving you. This is not real. So therefore, that's fraud. That's a different thing. But can you make it? Sure. Why shouldn't you be able to? Jamie Argueta says it's called hotspots. 5% of streets contain 50% of crime. And no, we police hotspots more than rich neighborhoods. And we know what works and doesn't. Let me be clear on this too. It's not you guys. It's not you guys. It's not that you need to police them more than rich neighborhoods. It's that when you don't, or when you do, people bitch and complain and things get mitigated and all sorts of stuff. More can be done. And it's not the cops' fault. It's the administration's fault. You don't have to apologize for your bosses. You don't have to apologize for the top of the chain of command and their political masters. You don't have to. It's okay. No one's mad at the individual cops. They're mad at the policy makers and the policy setters. Outlaw 2 says, happy birthday, Nina. Nick, can we have a toast? Absolutely. Here we go. I'm going to keep it light here. I'm a big fan of this Widow Jane's whiskey. All right. To Outlaw 2 and Nina, particularly Nina, happy birthday. Happy birthday. You've spent many years on this earth. I don't know how many, but more than probably 2 or whatever. Spent many years on this earth, and may you have many, many more fruitful years to go. Happy birthday, Nina. Cheers. All right, here you go. Wait a minute. Is that Nina Infinity? That Nina? Oh, I guess. Happy birthday, Nina, or whatever. I thought it was, I didn't know what Nina was for, but happy birthday to you. Let's see, the sweep. I read that one. Sergeant McSalty says, if you want to get really mad, look up constructive intent. Just having parts to build a legit NFA item while waiting on paperwork for it to be approved can get you charged and arrested. I don't want to be mad. I'm already mad. Jamie Argueta says, not Malcolm Gladwell. It's Sherman 1995. You're wrong. It's not eliminating 50% of the crime. You reduce it by a substantial portion, but not a lot. And yes, it's stable for 25 to 30. We still do it today. Wrong. I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Again, you don't have to apologize for the administration. You don't have to. And no, Gladwell didn't do the study. Gladwell talked about the studies. Sherman 95. There was actually studies going back to the 70s also on this. Lily Blake 23. Welcome to Paralegal. Not applicable says not to get you super hella banned, but everyone needs to go read the DOD whistleblowers before Congress Wednesday. Daniel Horowitz on The Blaze has the article. Trina 26 says, can a class action lawsuit be filed against news organization approved by the FCC, which disseminated propaganda during the 2020 election? You could try, but what are you going to file? What are you going to file? Like, what's the cause of action? They lied. I mean, you're allowed to lie. And you should be allowed to lie. All right, here we go. John Smith says the 19th Amendment and Civil Rights Act and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. Mo Zamboni says, my sister just hung up on me because I called out the BS that are full beds for COVID in Chicago. She will never come back to reality. Mike Sullivan says, sent video about FRT confiscation to your locals page. Thanks, Mike. I'll check it out. Bionicle Live says, are you familiar with the case of Pastor Spell in Louisiana? No. The governor allegedly submitted a file to the court recommending criminal punishment with the AG's signature falsely attributed. Bad Dragonite says, dude gets a metal card with I love your mom etched on it. Feds, take him down. Kyle Service says, the bolt when going home resets the trigger. And like you stated the first time, like a bump stock, slight rearward pressure simulates full auto. Very cool. Lily Blake, read that one. STFU says, gotta read Ethan Ralph Wiki, Controversies Bitcoin. S.I. Rataz says, if I donated to the first non-GoFundMe fundraiser and the money doesn't go to Kyle, can I request a refund or call it fraud against the desired recipient? You could try. I don't know how that works. There's a lot that goes into that. Jennifer Genter says, I really am sick and tired of working my ass off every day and then having to come home, then remember to be racist. Taylor Cook says, fuck the NFA, the Miller decision, and the Taft court ruling ruled that delegation of legislative authority by Congress is constitutional. Congress should write laws, not some unelected executive branch bureaucrats. I agree. Yin Yang Dynasty says, if St. Jude didn't want Nazis giving them money, they should have sent every donor a picture of a sick black kid saying, thanks for keeping me alive. Digitalis says, didn't Ralph just score probation? Can he be in Portugal? Apparently so. He got his passport stamped. Not all probation says you can't leave the state. Most probation doesn't have that prohibition, or if it does, you can usually get it waived pretty quickly and easily by a judge. Communist Muffin says, ja, 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 ja. Ja, 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 ja. Dame Pesos intensifies. The Ethan Ralph over in Portugal getting his ass kicked. Ja, 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 ja. No one important says, good. Ralph shouldn't think he's some badass by fighting everyone who will sneeze in his direction or calls him 5'1". I don't think he did. I don't think he fought back at all. Thought he got his ass kicked probably right away by one person. I miss Dame Pesos too. He was hilarious. Not applicable says Portugal is third world. He probably made someone mad. Probably. S. Cyber says he either followed a snatch and grab robber into an alley and got jumped, or the family of an under 18 professional rolled him for being a groomer. Philabooty says the gunt didn't get mugged. He got bunker busted by 4 people of a certain persuasion and left his $898 man purse behind. That's right, Nina. I love cooking channels. No one important says, Nick, this is the same guy who exploded at you for accusing him for farting. This man is thin-skinned and will fight anyone for any reason. Oh, I'm aware. I am well aware. Mandy Karavicha says, buy that Armani bag and give it to Drexel. Bloody Ajin says, Nick, let's be honest. The Ralph male got beat down by a fun-sized lady of the night who snatched his merce. Great show, Nikki. Philabooty says, hey, Ralph, you sure owned Andy, didn't you? Unflaumig says, linseed is good for voice loss. It is disgusting when cooked, but it helps. Sugar irritates it and dries vocal cords. Try to keep your cords moist. Get well. Not applicable says, Bainling liking Psaki is the 6th thing wrong with him. Mario Carter says, Jack Murphy told Ralph to beat off his attackers. Ryuzan says, the ACA is why health admins can deny ivermectin. Alex Scott Thompson says, more auto-tune and cowbell if available. Fuck, where are we? Oh, shit. Greta's carbon neutral vibrator says, I don't know how much more I can take of Orange Woman bad. Sejong the Great says, I commented on the video itself and I love your stuff, but how do you feel about the facts on the Sophie Long case coming to light? Dude was lying to you. SCOTUS is not a representative body, not elective. There's no requirement for the SCOTUS to be representative of anything other than blind law interpretation. And he also says Judge Bruce Schrader for SCOTUS. That is all. I'm not sure where specifically you think Michael Long was lying to me. I mean, I don't put out I mean, people get to say what they want to say. If Michael Long was lying, then Michael Long was lying. That's fine. I'm not sure where he lied though. That's the thing that I'm lost on. The updates in the Long case are rather crazy. Kelly Long, who Michael said was a danger to the children, is not allowed to have any of the children because she continued to be a danger to the children. Michael Long is appealing his decisions. I mean, he chose not to show up to court. I don't think that was ever in question. So I'm not sure what, again, I'm just trying to figure out what specific lie there was. Like, I know that Sophie was with Michael. I talked to her after the show. I talked to her. That was interesting. She looked happy. I don't know what to tell you. I still think that court was incorrect. So I don't know. I'm curious. I don't know. I'd like to talk more on it, but I just don't know. I replied to your YouTube comment, by the way, Sejong the Great, who also joined the channel at the paralegal level. I replied to your YouTube comment. We can carry on the conversation there, all in good faith, and I don't take any offense to the questions. Brandon Daniels says, "Get Judge Borowski on the panel. You guys seem like kindred spirits." Oh, that dude's great. Let's see. Transroof Korean, correct. Long Crime has not responded in any way to my attorney. Let's see. Next, Sejong the Great says, literally the subs are big mad about how I spend. Not applicable says, putting Harris on SCOTUS would be court packing. 200 Watt Studio says, did you have a falling out with Barnes and Viva? No. Rhino says, the lead candidate is a Black Lives Matter leader chick who scammed people out of millions. She'll get the nomination because Dems love crooks and liars. Leaf K. Brooks says, does that mean moral relativists are all legally insane? Sejong the Great says, insanity defense is not logical. There's no internment limits for people found criminally insane. Logically, you can be locked up for life on insanity. That's an interesting thing, by the way. Ethan Crumbley, the Michigan school shooter, has pled insanity. He is actually running the insanity defense up in Michigan. So that'll be an interesting watch. If he now gets to go through a psychiatric evaluation, and they'll determine if he qualifies for insanity. Next. Alex Scott Thompson says, I want a refund for this chat complimenting your in-ear monitors. Oh, thanks. No. Hallucinosis says, I'm drinking some Lafroig quarter cask, and it's setting off my nearby air purifier to run on medium high. Also, all gun laws are unconstitutional. Hallucinosis, if you like Lafroig quarter cask, might I recommend trying this? Lafroig Cardas, these Pedro Jimenez casks. This is really good. This is really good. Sejong the Great says, to clarify, race and gender are not factors for SCOTUS appointment. It's qualification. Race and gender are just two small examples of not qualifications. Kyan Rennell says that Houston video dude got domed in like a quarter second. Yeah, I'm okay playing the police shooting one because we can talk about it from a legal perspective. I think that shooting's justified, and I gave you the reasons and stuff like that. That Houston one is disturbing as fuck, man. He just, boom, he just gunshot right to the face, and when the guy falls on the ground, blam, 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 blam. Fuck me. What I need is a bunch of shooting videos to do, and we'll do a locals exclusive live stream just talking about all of them and nothing else, just shooting videos. That'd be crazy. Sejong the Great says, stop calling Black Rifle AR-15 M4 equals police and military. Only if it's an actual M4. Not all police have fully automatics. Deathwish says some guy in a liquor store was looking for new scotch, trying to suggested the Nadura. He got it. Hey, Glenlivet Nadura is fucking great. Great. Steve Riley, as many as you got, man. Send me links to all of them. Uh, 200 Watt Studio says, anything new on the Target suspect shot dead? No, I don't know about it. Tortheo says that video, suicide by cop, seems most likely. Davey says should have hid his purse in the gun crack. Your mental illness says, if you had to choose between enslaving humanity and destroying it, what would you choose? I would destroy it, I guess. I don't believe in I don't believe in the deprivation of, I mean, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's the same thing. I would choose neither. Alex Scott Thompson says, what's the status on the donut operator collab? I don't know. It's up to him, man. He's the guy who's got to release the video. He's the one who was making it. 200 Watt Studio says, happy birthday, Nina. Another toast, Nick. Turtles. No, I'm good. Had enough liquor. My man's prison wife says, thank you, Ricada Law, for bringing the Edgecombe trial. You white boys are hilarious. Can't wait for the next trial. CC says, hold up. I'm mad at individual cops. Good cops who enforce bad laws are bad cops. Caging citizens because a piece of paper said to at the threat of losing a job. Job is a small sacrifice for your morals, personal responsibility. Well, okay, but that's a different subject. What I mean is when the police administrators do not allow them to effectively police certain areas because of racism. And it's not just the administrators, it's the laws that bind them, the mayors that run their the political aspects of their departments and stuff like that. That's what I mean. It's a lot of cops would like to police a lot more crime. They can't. It's not their fault. Delicious Fried Food says, chew on this, Ricada. Rude. Kevin Speaks on it, says, what's the statuses, paralegal, etc.? They're channel memberships, YouTube channel memberships. I don't talk about them much. I don't promote them, but people can join for $2 a month, $5 a month, or $10 a month, the YouTube channel. And they get like a little badge and some custom emotes. That's about it. All right. That's it, guys. That's a show. It's late. I'm not going to do Twitch tonight. Got to get this voice rested up. I'll see you tomorrow. We will be doing Twitch very, very soon. But yeah, as for the YouTube memberships, please just join locals instead. Just join locals. No, the Lefroy Carrot is not insanely priced. No, it's not cheap, but it's not expensive. So, all right, guys, thanks a bunch. Hope you have a nice night. And I really appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-plaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitterland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an Ardbeg, a Balmore, a Lafroig, the spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter, as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, to make the law what we have now. Oh, the guests are all planet folks, from Dundee to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear Love's Blaming tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the thought better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed